Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell into play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our world. All the light you try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our world. All the light you try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we
And welcome everyone to Nerd TV for a winner's edition of the Global Sim Racing Truck Series race tonight at the simulated Richmond Raceway, where these drivers are going to go 250 laps around here for the Rubbins Racing 250. And you see the nighttime is starting to roll through here in Virginia. 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 36% humidity, cloudy, 2-mile-an-hour winds. Not going to be a factor, but track temp only 90 degrees because it's cloudy and going to nighttime. So there's going to be extra grip out here at Richmond. And of course, my name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty, Ballistic, aka Dustin to my right side. And I say winner's edition, Dustin, because we both picked up a league racing dub last night within an hour apart of one another. So I'm going to take that time to celebrate us for that yesterday.
We did. 2 separate leagues within an hour apart. You got your first win in your debut at one league, and I got my first win at OP. So it was a good one. And fashionable style, so to speak, at Talladega. Highline wreck avoidance and straight to the end for myself. So it was good. But you know what? All that aside, though, we're at Richmond, Jeremy. This is probably by far one of my favorite short tracks, only shadowed by that of Bristol. I always have a soft spot in Bristol. Bristol was the track that I got my first ever victory in officials on this platform. I love Bristol, love the track, but Richmond is a very close second, so always poses great racing, but drivers have to understand that it is a short track, so very limited room. If the nasty happens and a wreck happens, this track gets clogged very fast, very quick. Everybody has different lines, different break points, so there's a lot that drivers have to learn and understand. Not to mention, throw in the factor that they are throwing in the ability to run your different tire compounds. So you had mentioned that there during pre-race there, Jeremy, just before we went live. You know, they have the ability to do the softies if they want, or to do their intermediates, their normal compounds. So that's going to kind of throw a little bit into it as well. Tire wear is going to be different on everything, so that's going to be at a
Well,
driver's preference.
That's for the actual cup race. I apologize. I'm not.
Oh,
specified, I
see,
don't think.
you didn't.
Yeah, iRacing has not been there yet. This is experimental for the Cup Series, but great to be heads up on it, though. Great to be heads up.
I tried.
Well, yeah, you really did try. But what will be the difference, though, is the tire spin on these trucks at Richmond. They're so light in the rear end, right? And so if you're on the gas a little harder, you spin the tires, all of a sudden you're going to lose 2 laps of grip. So that in itself could be like kind of like a scenario that you're mentioning, but either way, yeah. I don't like Richmond. You love Richmond, I guess. I don't like it because I suck here. There's just no doubt about it. I like watching the racing here. It's great. It gets multi-group from time to time. You get throttled on the inside trying to pass sometimes, and people pinch each other in the corners and kind of roughhousing one another. But I just can't get the vehicle to rotate no matter what I'm driving. So that's just my thing here. But like I said, I love watching it. And these guys are going to put on an excellent show here tonight. I know they're all excited. They had an excellent pre-race meeting, and man, 250 laps here. I'm excited to see if JJ McCoy can make more than 1 lap.
Yeah, that was the running joke. Poor McCoy, after a little bit of a hiatus, came back after some weeks off and pulled 1 lap last week, and then got collected and wrecked out. So that was a running joke. He's hoping to at least double that tonight, if not more. So his first goal is 2 laps. But one thing to remember too, Jeremy, is for a lot of leagues, this is the first time they've been to Richmond since that the overhaul for the Craftsman Truck Series here, where these trucks now, you have to drive them a little bit more with the throttle. These things will get loose. They're a little bit more accurate to their real life counterparts right now. So that could play a little bit of a factor for some of these drivers as well. But I mean, either way, I mean, it's going to be a good race. I mean, the title of the race was fitting, Rubbins Racing, because it's short track racing. There's going to be very tight quarter racing, and it's probably going to be a gimme, Jeremy, that there's going to be some of that short track temper, short track mentality. It's just when you put so many good drivers so close like that, and when you got to fight for every inch on the track and got to fight that much harder because the track size now is so much smaller. It's bound to happen. I mean, it happens in real life. It happens in sim racing. Just a natural part of racing.
Yep, 100% here. And we're about to find out shortly here as practice comes to an end. Chad McGinley is the fastest guy, 21.674. And so we're going to get our cameras off your guys' screens. We're going to turn our focus to that 65 whenever he joins the track for his qualifying efforts here for the Rubbins Racing 250. Pretty tight practice up in the top 5, and it really tightens up back there around 10th. So it looks like there's 2 different time segments here between the fast guys and the guys are going to be mid-pack, at least in the practice time. So here we go. Chad McGinley on track. He's going to come up to lap number 1 and walk us through it, Dustin.
Yeah, he's going to take this thing way wide right now. That is very reminiscent. Most drivers will do that on their out lap right against that wall. He's going to keep it tucked way up there. Going off into 1, this first lap is going to be that throwaway lap. He's just building pressures up right now. Not really going to leave that second or third groove up there going through 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is going to be the same. And when he comes off turn 4 right now, this is very reminiscent. He's going to arc it down to that second groove, and he's going to let her rip, stick it to the wall. And this is where you're going to see, I would expect him to dive it down into the turn 1 and try to paint that yellow line just like that. Try to get off nice and smooth, easy exit. Turn 2 is a very tricky one. That wall will jump out very fast. He's going to arc it back in, right down to the paint again, nice and smooth. He's going to sit here and let it roll back off, right back to the wall again. Very clean lap right now for that 65, Jeremy.
21.520, a whole 1/10 of a second faster than his practice time. He holds, as Austin McGill just sneaks in with a 6:08. So still P1 on the board there. Stephen Hayes in 13 files in third with a 6:76. as we got a few more trucks still to go here as we're on board Justin LeBlanc in the 85 Red Bull Chevrolet Silverado. He's going to go through turns 3 and 4 here. This is going to complete his first lap, and we're going to see what he does here on lap number 2. Dives it.
First time we've seen LeBlanc back in a couple races there, Jeremy. He's been on a little bit of a hiatus as well, so making his return back here at Richmond.
This is very true, and let's see if he can knock that rust off and get back to it. A little wide in 3 and 4. Really not happy with the truck there. Really loose how to chase it up the track. Yeah, that's going to really hurt his time. Still puts him at a 793. P8 on the board now. Brody Marinko sneaks in. Second truck to hit the 0.5 of a second bracket with a 21.584. Brody Marinko, P2.
Yeah, these times are very close right now. Only 2 drivers in the 0.5 second bracket. That's your pole sitter McGinley right now, and then Marinko, P2. And then only 2 of them in the 0.6 bracket right now. Austin McGill, Stephen Hayes right now slotted 3rd and 4th. We're on board right now with Joshua Slade, trying to sit here and put down some good times, some good marks and points. Hopefully a little bit better than what he did as far as the actual series points for us, right? I told him I was going to give him a hard time for it. And dang it, I'm going to give him a hard time. Nah, it's all in good faith, though. It's we work very well together, and I shouted out not only the drivers, but also the admins and team owners for all the work that they've done to make things easier for us up in the production booth. They do a phenomenal job, but Slade comes in P5, 3rd driver to hit 0.6 there, Jeremy.
Does not surprise me seeing Slade up here in the top half of the field, as we got a minute and a half left in this practice session. A couple guys left. Abram Ghostin on your screen right now on the roof camera, completing his first lap of 2. Runs at 21.9. Expect this time to pick up here. Gets through 1 and 2. A little cautious in 1. Chased just up the track. Did not get to the other line. That's
ran a little high on that one too. About 3 feet high.
Yeah, so I'm like saying, like he can't. Right there is really wide there too. The truck just does not want to get to the yellow, and he crossed the line there. That's a 0.9 or 795 P10 for the 25.
Yeah, P10, solid lap though. I mean, solid top 10 start, but I mean, just that little bit of space. I mean, if you compare that to some of the other drivers like Slade and McGinley that we were on board watching as well, you know, they were painting that yellow line. Just that 3 feet of space that he was leaving there. That's the difference right there of potentially, you know, 0.2 of a second, you know, from a 0.7 to a 0.5. There's not a whole lot of room on this track, Jeremy, so you have to try to, you know, use up every bit of it you can to get that speed, because it's not like a Daytona, Talladega, where you can run varying different lines depending on how much you scrub or you don't scrub. I mean, you can still have very competitive times. This one here, I mean, when it comes to it, there's only one real fast way around this track when you're trying to put down heaters.
Yep, and that is the yellow line down there. Hug it, exit. As long as you get the power plant down early and not spin the tires, you're going to put down a good lap. That's it. Qualifying's over. Chad McGinley wins practice and qualifying. Now he's got one more column to fill, and that's the race to see if he can win after 250 laps at the simulated Richmond Raceway. And shout out to Martin Sports, series sponsor. Appreciate all they do for us here for Nerd TV and Nerditudes in general. We got some gloves on the way that's going to be nerd specific. I can't wait to have green Scullies on my hand, but if you're looking for jerseys, hats, gloves, martinsports.gg. But here we go. Down for the starting lineup here for the Robbins Racing 250. Chad McGinley, P1, to his outside, the 54, Brody Marinko. Row 2, Austin McGill in 3rd, Stephen Hayes in 4th. Row number 3, you'll find Joshua Slade in 5th, Bobby Mantle in 6th. Row 4 will be Clayton White in 7th. In 8th place will be Bradley Minor. Row number 5, you'll find Justin LeBlanc in the 85. In 10th place will be Abram Ghostin. Row 6, J.J. McCoy in 11th. Nick Boyd will be in 12th. Row 7 will be Mark Sherwood in 13th. John DeMatteo in 14th. Row 8 is going to be E.J. Luna in 15th. John Howard in 16th. Row 9, Patrick Gettner in 17th. Danny White in 18th. Row 10, Jason Schilling in 19th. Shane Wielden in 20th. And row 11, the final row for tonight's starting lineup, will be Anthony Emmerich in 21st. Ron Harrington in the 57 will be your 22nd and final driver listed for tonight's event. As we walk back up through the grid, a little drone action now starts to fly through. Dustin doesn't have boots on the ground. He brings the drone to go down the starting lineup. So, keeping up to date with technology a little bit over there, huh?
Hey, we're nerds, man. We got to keep up to date with everything. Got to give the viewers out there every angle we possibly can. Though there may be some angles we miss, but you know what, Jeremy? Damn it, we try our darndest to make sure we hit everything. And I tell you what, these drivers, they always put on a heck of a show. They really do. So it makes our job a lot easier calling it, and a lot more fun to watch it too. So.
Yep, absolutely does. And here we go, a little drone action here. Looking at the 65, Chad McGinley, your pole sitter here tonight. He's going to lead this field. Very hungry to get the final. I think this is the final short track on the schedule of 2024. We got this race and 2 more before we hit to the championship round, where the top 14 will sort themselves out amongst the final races to see who will become the 2024 champion here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series.
It is the final one too. The final 2 remaining ones are a road course and then Milwaukee Mile, so a mile track. So definitely the last short track. So we'll see what these drivers can do.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Pace truck's gonna come down next time by. Of course, you get 2 pace laps at a short track. Get these tires warmed up. Dustin, do you think we're going to see a second and potential third groove tonight, or is it going to be all bottom feeding?
I think once we start getting these tires worn in and we actually start getting some rubber built up on this track, I think that you will see a second groove. Depending on some of these drivers' setups, we may actually see some of these trucks geared more towards that second groove. If they can nail it right, they can get that good run off there and give us some good side-by-side battles. But don't be surprised that if it is a single groove, though, that there might be a little bit of use of that chrome horn, that bump and run that Dale Sr. was oh so good at most of the time. Just don't ask Terry Labonte that.
Yeah, big 10-4 on that. Big 10-4. Michael Lester saying, hey, guys, keep me entertained while I'm driving. He's driving away from his computer, going wherever he's going here. But here we go. Green flag is out. This thing is underway. 2 by 2 by 2. All the way to turn number 1 and 2. Going to come off here. Solo is going to be the 65 there. Chad McGinley is still side by side. McGill drives it in deep. Brody Marinko pinches him nice and tight through 3 and 4, trying to maximize that. 99 gets a little loose, able to collect it at the line. Virtual tie. Goes to Brody Marinko P2, but Chad McGinley solo single file there by himself in P1.
Yeah, that start. I have not seen 6 trucks, 3 on either lane, break out almost identical. They had a 2-truck length lead over 7th on back there until they start dicing it out. But this is what we're used to, Jeremy. This is what Richmond actually breeds. That side-by-side. I mean, we've seen the race between McGill and Marinko side-by-side. Now we have Slade and Hayes side by side. That's what this one does. And a little bit of wall tag there. That's that treacherous turn 2 I was talking about. And you see what it did to Stephen Hayes. It slowed him up. Otherwise, Jeremy, he had that highline run that I had made mention about just prior to green flag racing.
Yeah, it's going to bite multiple drivers here tonight. It comes up so quick. And if you're not expecting it, or if your truck's not handling great, you will find that wall. There is absolutely 100% guaranteed chance. 44 Mark Sherwood almost hits it. He gets a little left to right there on the back straightaway, but everyone's all single filed out for the first 5 laps here tonight.
Yeah, and it's a very tough turn too. So with the way that this track looks, if we look at the track map, turn 4 is nice and easy because it's that wide gaping turn all the way down that front stretch. The front stretch is not straight. It's an entire curve in its own. But that turn 2, as you see, they're working across the start-finish line right now. We'll watch Chad McGinley as he goes by. Turn 1 is a nice, wide, sweeping one, but as they get to turn 2 and it straightens out, it cuts off very abruptly. And it catches drivers off guard, and that wall jumps out at them a lot faster, especially when you're side-by-side, and your racing surface that you can race on is already cut in half because you're side-by-side with another competitor.
And as the tires start to fall off, you'll see it more and more here. Not too much movement so far in the top 10. You got Nick Boyd in 9th. He's up 3 positions. John DeMatteo, and then the 26, he's up 4 positions. So is John Howard in the 78. So a couple drivers making some small gains early on, but right now your top 5 virtually unchanged here. See EJ Luna, the 24. He's looking to the inside of the 44. Mark Sherwood heads off into turn number 1, makes that pass completed as he gets to JJ McCoy, who did complete 2 laps, Dustin. So job well done for the 22.
He's completed more than that. I mean, as it sits right now, he's actually like 400% over what his goal was, which was 2 laps. He's at 8 laps right now completed. We just started lap 9, so good to see JJ out there. It was a heartbreaker to see him kind of lose it there right on lap 1 and didn't get a chance to compete last Sunday. But glad to see he's back. We missed him. Just like we miss all the drivers when they're gone, and that's why we always try to make mention when we do see them back, like Justin LeBlanc. He's been gone for a number of weeks, and he's made his comeback and his return, and we love seeing the drivers come back like that. So, and especially at such a good track too, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, and a little bit of a test of their skill here at Richmond. Test of patience, test of driver talent, test of everything here. As right now, looks like it's a very, very, very clean single file stretch here. We're going to load up early the iRacing iFlag track map just to see how stretched out. Almost, basically a half a track now is covered already in the first 11 laps. So some people clearly don't have their setup dialed in. Others, like the ones on your screen right now, that'd be Chad McGinley, Brody Marinko, Austin McGill. These guys, and Joshua Slade, 4-truck breakaway over this 13, who they've got a whole second gap over the 5th place truck. Yeah,
and you also have to remember too, Jeremy, some of these drivers may actually have a longer run setup. I know that when you go to a short track...
Sorry, there's almost a wreck. John Howard 78 hits the back of JJ McCoy, does a 4-tire slide. He's going to lose 3+ positions. Saves it. John Howard, good job there. He did drive in a little hot turn 3, and he's going to have to really wind it down because those Goodyears, they got to be screaming at him right now.
Let's see if we can't go back and try to find where this happened at here.
So let's see, turn 3 next lap. He's fighting with Mark Sherwood. It gets a little loose. Oh, yeah. He did Luna, too.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
dicey off of turn 4. Here's turn 2. No, this isn't where this at. No, it must be a different lap that we're catching it. We'll have to figure it out, maybe lap 12.
Now let's try this one.
We're going to look at one more part of this race. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you found it. Little VHS rewind, and we got it. There we go.
Oh, that was that break point that I was talking about going in. Every driver's got different break points. Some don't use the brakes. They allow the transmission to slow off, so they just roll in and just misjudgment on that. Just a little bit of contact, but look at that car control, though. He was dirt sliding that thing like they had dirt laid down on this like they did Bristol, Jeremy, and he just drove it right back, missed Luna. Look at Mark Sherwood. Excellent job going down and missing the pit road barrels. A lot better than, somebody's favorite driver that loved to hit those barrels, Jeremy. Not going to mention any names.
Don't remind me of Homestead now. Come on. That's just not right. Not right at all.
I like Larson, too. That was a heartbreaker.
The guy has so much talent, and he finds the water barrel.
Of all things.
Dirt or asphalt. Water barrels and sand barrels are not a good thing to hit. And he found it. Looking through the field a little bit more. Here's the 26, De Matteo. Some new colors here. Bright orange. Easy to spot him out here tonight underneath the lights. I'm noticing, too, Stephen Hayes in the 13. He's creeping forward. He was a whole second back of the race leader. And he's kind of creeping a little bit closer and closer. Actually, he's down to 7/10 over Joshua Slade. So every lap, it's almost a 10th here. So him and the 14 and Clayton White looks like they've kind of geared up for the long run.
Yeah, and that's what I was making mention back before John Howard's amazing save that he did there was, some of these drivers are geared more towards that. Even though we go to a short track and a lot of drivers will not gear for a long run because they figure it's a short track, there's going to be cautions. Well, that's not always the case. There's been a lot of amazingly long green flag runs at short tracks before. So some of these drivers that gear it more towards that long run, I mean, it's paying off right now. You're seeing Slade kind of falling off a little bit. Stephen Hayes is moving forward. Clayton White's moving forward too. Clayton White had caught Stephen Hayes about 4 laps ago and started putting the pressure on a little bit, and then ever since then, both the 13 truck and the 14 truck have taken off like they've been shot out of a cannon, Jeremy.
Yeah, they're moving up here. And speaking of moving, Austin McGill, really close to Brody Marinko. This is for second and third on your screen. Austin's going to try to go to the second groove with the fresh air on his nose, try to diamond off the corner exit. He's got to run. Does he look to the inside? Nope. He's going to chase Brody all the way to turn 3. Hits the braking mark very well. And then right there, the 54 just rotates so much better on the bottom of turn. It's much harder to get turn 3 and 4 to roll on the second groove compared to 1 and 2. Austin again is going to try the second groove, diamond it back off. He should be able to get a good launch here. But 3 and 4, he needs to stick to the yellow line. He's not. He ran this in qualifying, and the truck just cannot get to the bottom. They finally got it there with a little help of, and Brody, a little lift. And, looks like Austin's going to maintain once more. It was a complete 23 laps now.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing, Jeremy, right now is, we always talk about the team aspect too. Right now, there is only one yellow spoiler in the top 5. And that is your race leader, Chad McGinley. So that's Grim Reaper Motorsports. There are 2 one-of-one motorsports drivers in the top 5 running P2 and P4. That is Marinko and Slade. And then you have a Lone Star driver. That's Stephen Hayes running 5th. And then you have a team whatchamacallit in Austin McGill. He's running P3 on your screen right now. But he also has a teammate right behind Stephen Hayes in 6th with Clayton White. So a little bit of a difference here when we come to the short track, Jeremy. We're used to seeing the team dynamic and a lot of team drivers near each other, and now we've got this nice little sprinkle of teams across the board here. So it's kind of different, but kind of nice.
Yeah, it's been very good to see the past month or so. Looks like they both hit the wall. At least Austin McGill definitely hit the wall for turn 2. We talked about it already. You're going to hear about it more and more as this race continues to progress forward. As we're kind of cycling back a little bit. 89, Bobby Mantle. There's Justin LeBlanc. JJ McCoy right behind him, who ran wide in 3 and 4 that last time.
Look at the run, though.
It worked. I'm surprised. I said it's very hard to do it, and it made him create a pass effort on Justin. Gets the turn 2 and just cannot make it stick.
No, but Justin leaves that inside line open there. Probably seen the run that McCoy got, so they're going to try to dice it out at a turn 4. But look at that high line run, Jeremy. I talked about that. That's why this track, as small as it is tough to pass. It's not because it's a single groove. It's just that each line is equally strong at varying parts of the track. That inside line is so good on corner entries like that. You get such a great run, but that second groove, just like McCoy's doing right here, you get such an awesome corner exit off of it. So it's a give and take. You got to time it just right. You might have to, ease it off a little bit on corner entry to gain more on corner exit, but JJ McCoy finally able to complete the pass on Justin LeBlanc.
On the outside, doing it well, so it looks like that second groove is a little versatile. And if you're going for a pass or depending off the person on the inside, and get a good view of these 3 trucks. 76, first one in tow here. And this is for 13th, 14th, 15th. DJ Luna looking to the inside. I'm going to take a quick moment to shout out one of our partners here, new to the scene, EPI, Elite Performance Industries, raceepi.com. This is an open setup league. And if you're a part of an open setup league or looking to up your game currently in this series or any other series, raceepi.com. Check out their plethora of setups amongst multiple series, dirt, asphalt. They got it all. That's raceepi.com.
Yeah, EPI's got some amazing setups. Especially when you're in an open setup series like this here, that can make or break a driver's race right there. Talking about make or break, the 24 VJ Luna, while you were given that amazing plug for EPI, got wicked loose on the inside of the 76, and Nick Boyd there trying to make the pass, had to collect it up, fell back, and almost to the clutches of the 64 Danny White.
Yep, you can see right there. There's a 64. Back to third on this one. Good pass there. Stay everyone single file out. You're looking back now. This battle has been going on for at least 10 to 15 laps. Austin just trying everything he can. Oh, he finally gets an effort here. Look to the inside. Can he stick the bomb? This has been troublesome for him all night. He's able to find it. Door to door.
Oh, a little loose.
Still maintaining at least the corner panel. And he's got another shot here, 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is where it's going to get tricky because 2 is going to cut off. They get so close, almost making contact nose to nose down the backstretch as they're going to fling it off into turn 3, still side by side. We're going to see who's going to get the better run here. 54, little bit of a bobble. He drove it down the track and realized the 99 was there and had to pull it back up. And that was all it took, Jeremy, to allow the 99 of Austin McGill to take over that P2.
Yep, that was it. Just a little mistake there from Brody to shortcut that corner. Realized it wasn't clear. That's it. We got a little bobble here. The 77, Shane Wheeldon. Ron Harrington on the inside. Stephen Hayes in that 13. He's falling off the pace a little bit.
Well,
He loses 2 spots here.
No, he's caught behind lap traffic. The 77 of Shane Wheeldon and the 57 of Ron Harrington are lap down cars right now. And he was kind of being held up, and not through anything that the 77 of Wheeldon or the 57 of Harrington was doing. Those two were racing for position as well. They had every right to race for position. It happened to be right there in front of the 13, and look at the distance he lost on the 12 of Joshua Slade. But you did see the 77 of Ron Harrington, seeing that the lead lap cars are behind him. He did pull down off of there so that these drivers only had to worry about 1 truck to pass at a time rather than 2 of them. So that's what's allowing these drivers to get by now. So an excellent heads up and good sportsman call there by the pilot of the 57 there, Mr. Ron Harrington.
Yeah, good call out there. And I saw that whenever you started talking to the 14, Clayton White did hit the outside wall in turn 2 exit. So, but it's a short track. I think it's going to be A-okay. But they are cleared once more. And the hunt is back to get to the 12 of Joshua Slade, still running P4. There is your race leader, 65, Chad McGailney, 2.5 second lead over second place. We're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We will be right back. And welcome back to Full Screen here. First caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes, and we have a hard impact here from Nick Boyd in the 76.
Oh my!
Drives it deep into the corner, which this might have started in turn 2. I'm not too sure. And then he comes up and just gets T-boned again. Parts are flying everywhere, smoke, debris. 76, Nick Boyd clearly got the worst of that one here, but I don't know where this. I mean, it looked like the 76 might have made contact originally. As we go back almost an entire lap here at the VHS rewind. So this is the 78, John Howard, going to drive it in deep. He makes it stick to the bottom. Nick Boyd gets a great launch through 1. I thought they made contact here, but maybe they didn't. That was really close. But the 78 Howard just misses his braking point by a lot. Drives it deep into turn 3, destroys the 76. That's probably going to end his night, at least for contention. as iRacing puts the bumper back on him nicely. But yeah, heavy impact from Nick Boyd in the 76 for the first caution here tonight.
Oh yeah, his toe's knocked out too. You can look at the right front on that 76, and his toe is completely knocked out on it right now. That tire is not supposed to be angling that far out on that, especially at a short track. So definitely some heavy damage there for the 76. Unfortunate break for both drivers.
Yeah, and they have to get that fixed because that's going to cause a lot of excess tire wear to that right front, which is very, very important here at Richmond. Flat track, you want that right front to be hooked up the best it can be, and you're going to slide that thing so much. So you're really just going to have to just take the full optional repair, even if you don't want to get that thing settled in here. But we're going to have 2 laps left before we go back to green flag, it seems like, and the 65 McGinley. Still P1 after pit stops. Mosta McGill, Brody Marinko, Joshua Slade, Stephen Hayes. That's your top 5 here on this restart.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it is a short track, so cosmetic damage, you know, your body panels, things like that, bumper panels, not a super big deal when it comes to a track like this. But where the damage is a big deal is when it's more of the mechanical parts, like you said, like your tires, you know, your engine. Things like that, that is where you're really going to feel a degradation in your performance because those are the parts the car really needs to perform here. Not so much the aero part of it, but the mechanical part. And unfortunately, there was some very apparent mechanical issues with the 76 as he was coming down pit road to get that repaired. So unfortunate break there. First caution comes out. But Jeremy, I mean, first caution come out. I mean, we had an excellent green flag run that was there. You know, a couple close calls, but drivers did an amazing job keeping things going up until that point.
Yeah, 100% here. Filing up, double filing now. 65 McGinley likes to take the inside. McGill on the outside here. And so it's been very stagnant within the top 5, the back half of the field. A little mix up so far. Highest positions earned is the 23 Anthony Emmerich. Up 6 spots I see on my end here. Here we go, our pace truck is down. There's a restart there, 65 McGinley. Excellent jump over the entire field. 2 truck lengths separate him and the 99 quickly as they head to turn number 1. They close that right back up. McGill strong on the top here, clears the 54, almost gets to the 65's back bumper, slightly grazes it on corner exit, gives it back to him in turn 3. What a beautiful shot here through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I love the drone cams here. Get you a bird's eye view of all the race in action. And that was a hell of a start from that top line. That was probably the best start and launch from that second lane that we have seen at Richmond in a while. Slade was just giving it to the back bumpers. Oh, this another boomer button box caution comes out. And Jeremy, this looks like this is going to involve the driver you had just talked about moving up the most amount of positions, the 23 of Anthony Emmerich.
Yep, take the dry erase to the whiteboard there, and it's going to cause a 3-truck pileup. Drives it in deep, gets loose. Tire heat not up to temps, it looks like, for the 23. Slides it on through. And we have a couple drivers in the back here kind of file in as he blocks the majority of the track. John Howard barely escapes. Ron Harrington barely. Here comes 75, makes the contact, and Shane Wheeldon hits him in the left front.
Oh, man, look at the impact from Shane Wheeldon there on the 75 of Patrick Gentner. Gentner just came to a complete stop there to try to minimize that, and unfortunately that literally just closed the door on the 77. He was expecting the 75 was going to make contact and bounce down the track, leaving that lane open. But Gentner just locked it down, which all of us racers, that's what we try to do, just to try to minimize the amount of travel that these cars and trucks do on the track. And you see that it was already gone, and there was nothing 77 of Wheeldon could do. He had it locked up. Turning it wasn't going to do anything. Even if he turned it, he was either going to hit the 75 or the 23. That was an unfortunate set of circumstances there for that 77.
Yeah, wreck avoidance actually is not really talked about as much as it should be. The amount of talent it takes to foresee what the truck's going to do in front of you. So someone's spinning in turn 2, you're kind of going through your head just in a moment of a second going, okay, is he going low or high? Or is he going to stop in the middle? And then at the same token, you got to go, what do I need to do? Do I need to lock the brakes? Do I need to roll the brake pedal and turn left, turn right? Same time, you got trucks behind you, and you're like, okay, are they going to run me over? Are they not? Are they going to give me room? There's just so many scenarios that instantly pop up in your head, especially at a short track where everyone's all bunched up, typically speaking. And here's going to be a good view of the 77 Shane Wheeldon.
You'll see how fast this actually does it. Right now, he's thinking, okay, I'm going to go low. Oh, 75. Nope, never mind. I mean, it is that quick. There's not a whole lot that you can do. He's seen the 23 lock it down. In his mind, he's thinking, okay, low line is going to be open. Trucks are going to go by. Then he's seen the 75 get tagged by it. And instantly, that whole plan that he just made in a blink of an eye is wiped out. And he has to try to jump back to the drawing boards to figure out what he needs to do next. Unfortunately, there was nothing left because the 75 locked it down right there and essentially came to just a complete stop. And like I had said in the pre-race, Jeremy, it doesn't take very many trucks or cars on this track in an accident to clog up any available real estate to try to avoid any wrecks.
Yeah. He literally did a 90-degree slide through turn 1 and 2, blocked half the racing surface. And then people are trying to drive it in 100 mile an hour plus into turn number 1. So a lot of different variables, and unfortunately 3 total with damage here. Pace lights are still on the truck. Expect them to go off this time. We're going to jump over to their TV
This is
replay one more time.
78, so you want to talk about wreck avoidance. Watch how close. So right now, 23, there he is, blocking the track. 78's going to take it high. He's got us right there in between the truck and the wall. And all of that in just a fraction of a second. That's all these drivers have to try to react.
Yep, and that, as you know, if for the people that are watching that are racing week in and week out on the sim world, we know that's more of a semi-easier task to do. But if you're not used to doing that, if you're just watching and not actually racing, like, you don't know if that truck's going to slide all the way up to the wall. You don't know if you should go left or right, and all the scenarios I brought up. So just a great job there, at least from the 78's perspective, to stay clear of the wreck in front of them there from the 23 Anthony Emmerich. Pace truck is going to go down right now. McGinley back to the bottom this time, going to do the same exact thing he did last restart. At least try to get the jump on the field. 99 tire spin. He gets tagged by the 13 and 14, trying to get him going, at which it gives him a boost. Heads into turn number 1, clears the 54 once more.
I don't know if that was tire spin, Jeremy. That
He
almost
missed a gear.
I don't think he missed a gear. The 65 looked like he was going to take off, and it almost looked like the 99 was trying to time it and realized that the 65 wasn't taking off, so had to backpedal just a burp to backpedal it. And at that moment, that's when the 65 hit it because they got the green flag. So I don't know, and I may be wrong, but just from the angle I was looking at, that's almost what it looked like, because I've had that very same scenario happen to me, trying to time these restarts like that, and every once in a while, believe it or not, our timing is off by fractions of a second.
That's very true. It looked like there was a little bit of a stutter, but that could have been just a missed time there. And of course, the 65 took him by 2 truck lengths once more. Had a better opportunity through 1 and 2 and cleared him, and now he's got smooth sailing in front for the 65 again. Quickly, this field went single file. Look at this, top 10, top 15, minus 78, trying to make a pass. Quickly single filed out, 58 laps now in this 250 lap event. And 13, Stephen Hayes, his first time into the podium spot as he passed Brody Marinko on that restart. So let's see what the 13 can do. He's got the long run truck. Can he do the short run?
Yeah, and one thing we got to remember, these drivers under that first caution all came down to the service of their crew. So some of these drivers, Jeremy, it's probably a safe bet that they made some adjustments to their trucks there. Some, maybe saying, okay, the long run was a little much. I need to try to make some adjustments to make it to more of a medium length run. I think that would be best. So you might see some of these drivers that struggled in that first green flag run actually start, showing their true colors there a little bit more. And we're seeing that with the 13 of Stephen Hayes. Remember, from the drop of the green flag, he fell back to 5th and was hovered back there until about lap 18 to 20. And then he started coming on strong, and now we see him coming on strong right off of the get-go on fresh tires. So we might see some of these adjustments really taking effect, Jeremy.
Yeah, the top 5 still nose to tail here. Doing pretty good job. Clayton White a little bit further back there in 6th. He did fall back quite a bit with Stephen Hayes on that first long run. No surprise he's going to drop back just a little bit here. Plus,
This
maybe hit
battle.
the wall a little bit. But yeah, look at this. JJ McCoy, Justin LeBlanc, Justin a little squirrely off corner exit, a little tire spin. Still holding it side by side. McCoy drives it in deep early. Justin's going to great launch off corner exit. Still side by side.
These two have been battling all race long, Jeremy. If you remember in that first 20-plus lap run that we had, it was these two that were battling for lap on lap on lap until McCoy finally got around him. And guess what? We're right back where we left off prior to that caution, and these two still duking it out, Jeremy. But I tell you what, they're putting on a hell of a show, though. Good, solid run, but like you said, that one shot we just seen down that backstretch, Jeremy, everything is just in line. Look as they come off from the start-finish line, everything just in line. Nobody really trying to pressure anything. So a lot of these drivers, Jeremy, might be going for a long haul. Look like the 99 Aston McGill might have been peeking to the outside of the 65.
It's the first time we've seen McGinley pressured after 5 laps on a start. As he's under big fire at now by Austin McGill. A little bit stronger effort on his part here in the opening laps of a restart. He's going to look to the outside. He's been doing this all night long. Gets that little diamond effect into turn 2. Helps him on corner exit. Has the speed to look low. Does not do it. He's going to keep that truck on the second groove where he's feeling very comfortable. You see it there. He looks like he has that opportunity again. McGinley goes down low. Austin back to the top, and now they're going to be just at the quarter panel. This is getting fun, Dustin.
Oh yeah, and McGinley is going to make him work for that. He's going to make McGill work for that pass. I don't see the 65 really giving it up as we have our third boomer button box caution come out right when that racing was getting really good. But like I was saying, I don't think McGinley's not going to give up that low line. That is the preferred lane through there, but I tell you what, as strong as the 99 was looking, this is going to be some good racing, Jeremy.
As this caution comes out solo by the 64, Danny White. Here's a jump to the Nerd TV replay. Turn 2, just gets loose. Slides it down the back straightaway. You see him just slowly turning it more and more and more. And there he goes, 4-wheel lockdown. Very clean, no contact to anything. And that's another third caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes.
Yep. Very clean, too. Didn't gather anybody else up. The only reason why that caution came out is because he brought the truck to a stop, which is what the drivers need to do. It lessens the amount of overall collateral damage either to their truck or to other competitors' trucks. But when he brought it to a complete stop, his entire rear axle was out on the track, and there were trucks that were oncoming down the backstretch. So iRacing stewards threw the caution on that one there for that single car incident. But very clean spin. Very reminiscent. We talked about turn 2 being that coffin corner, whether it's one that wall sneaks up on you and bites you and you want to sit here and take it to the International House of Pancakes and pancake that outside wall, or that truck, just the weight jacking and the weight variance going from that banked corner to more of that flat straightaway, that rear end just gets really light like that. Remember, since that update, you got to drive these things with the throttle a little bit more than what you did, more realistic to their true life counterparts. And that's what happens sometimes. It gets very loose like that. That rear tire breaks loose, and once it breaks loose, Jeremy, the only thing you can do is try to counter steer and break out of it to lower the amount of damage it happens. And Danny White did an excellent job keeping it off that inside wall. Could have been way worse.
He sure did. 78, John Howard. There's your Martin Sports hashtag Get a Grip Lucky Dog Award recipient. Going to be the 18th truck back on the lead lap here as he's on pit road, getting the truck changed up with some new tires, potentially some fuel. Looks like some repairs happening to the right front, but he should be good to go on that. And it looks like we got 2 laps left on this pace lap. Good time to give us another shout out to one of our partners, Dusty Pete's, the official hobby store of the Nerditudes. It's a whole hobby store with a whole lot more, based out of New York. And if you're looking for anything nerdy to up your nerddom, as I always say, head yourself over to dustypete's.com. Thousands of comic books, action figures, collectible cards of all sorts, whether it be Pokemon or sports or Magic the Gathering. Yu-Gi-Oh! If you play that, that's not my thing, but Pokemon is. So either way, I know the fandom is strong amongst those. In NASCAR, they support tie racing, and so they have some NASCAR diecasts for the NASCAR nerds as well. So that's once again DustyPete's.com, and put them in a tab right now. So next time you go to caution, you could shop their website while watching tonight's broadcast from their TV, and use that promotion code SuperNerd at checkout, 15% off your online purchase of $20 or more. So go do that right now, as we still have one lap before going to green flag.
Yeah, definitely want to go and do that because you're not going to want to miss any of the racing action. I know these drivers, they are being very patient with one another, given room. I mean, the accidents we've seen, we've had 3 cautions, and the last one was a self-spin. The truck just got loose. But as these laps wind down, the racing action is going to get more intense. These drivers are going to try to bid for every inch on this track. And that's why I love this track. You know what? I expect some cautions when we come to a short track. I'm all right with it. You know, these drivers here are going to put on a hell of a show. Pace truck is in, and look at that. 65 off to a huge start on that one there. Clears it. We don't want the race information. What am I doing, Dustin? Sorry, wrong button. Clears it by 2 truck lengths right now. And now your battles for P2. And look at the 13 of Stephen Hayes now alongside the 99 of Austin McGill. These two duking it out down the backstretch. Looks like McGill's almost going to have him cleared, but Stephen Hayes still had a quarter on him. Finally clears him there. They go single file for the first 7, Jeremy.
You're watching up there, but in the back, they're 3 wide, half a lap. They're getting past multiple different ways. One truck really up high to the outside wall in turn 3, loses a couple spots. They go back to 2 wide now, but very crazy first lap. Anthony Emmerich got put through the middle. He lost a spot or 2 there. And for the most part, they quickly go single file. 14, Clayton White looks to be the only side-by-side contender right now into turn number 1 under the 64 Clayton White. And here we go. Dustin's got some coverage here of this 3 wide.
Woo!
There it is. Puts Anthony, got a 2 for 1 pass, 3 for 1 really.
3, almost 4 wide. Holy moly. Jeez. Unbelievable. And it's hard to explain for anybody viewing out there, but 3 wide at Richmond is crazy, and almost going 4 wide is absolutely insane. And these guys just did that without causing any issues. So fantastic job on that one there. But I guarantee you, oh, the 12 out of sorts, trying to collect it. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to through the grass. No caution. He's off the racing surface. Big loss, though, for the 12 as he come off at turn 4 and was all out of sorts on that one.
Top 5 contender in speed here tonight, and he went for a wild ride. Solo spin. No, actually, EJ Luna decides to give the assistance to the 12.
Right there, you can see the weight jacking, just a little bit of a nudge, and it just upset the 12. Coming off at turn 4, almost had it saved. Excellent heads-up driving by the 23 of Anthony Emmerich. Look at him check up to allow Slade to try to gather that back up. That is a hell of a bit of driving and sportsmanship right there. Easily could have just plowed right through him and just bumped him right out of the way, but everybody gathered it back up. No cautions, Jeremy. I do want to give a shout-out to Michael Hayes, too. I see that you're out there watching in the Nerd TV realm there. Glad to have you watching, buddy. Miss seeing you out there on the track, my guy, but glad to have you here nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Got both mics tuning in. The only ones I've really chatted so far on the Nerd TV side. So I see we got 14 live viewers right now.
15.
And only 2. I see 14. You see 15. It must be on my view. I'm not sure, but either way, there's people watching. There's not people chatting. So if you want to have your comments mentioned or just want to give us a thank you or tell us how bad we're doing, either way, greatly appreciated. Makes it a little more fun up here for us to communicate with you guys through a 2-way communication. And
you know what, Jeremy? You know what?
What you got over there?
Let's get them involved. Let's have a little fun with this. All right, we have covered a lot of the racing here. You've seen some of the race in action. I want any of the viewers out there right now to shout out who you think is going to take the checkered flag for the Rubbins Racing 250 tonight. Whoever shouts out and actually states the correct driver that'll take the checkered flag tonight will give you $1 million Nerd TV bucks. That is good for an exchange for bragging rights at any time during any broadcast. How about that?
Good thing it's coming out of your bank account. You offered that AME, so whatever that's worth, Monopoly cash, whatever it is.
Well, it's essentially Monopoly cash, but you know what? You have a little fun with it.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. There you go. Have at it. And I got one pick in mind. There might be a second pick. Oh, it was 13, kind of grazed the wall a little bit there. Off a turn 2, lap 83.
All right, Jeremy.
Schedule 250.
I'll let you do the house pick. You do the house pick. Who's your call?
How do you go against the 65 is my question.
Oh, see?
How do you go? I mean, McGill's doing such a great job, but how do you go against the guy who's led every single lap tonight?
It's tough. Well, I mean, clean air is everything, though. I mean, McGill has not been behind any truck, so we have not seen that either, and we know that clean air is key. For me, the 99's been putting a lot of pressure on that 65. That's who I would go with, is probably the 99. I've seen how he operates up close in dirty air like that, which tells me that in clean air, he's probably going to perform even better. We have only seen how McGill has been able to perform in clean air up to this point, so not shortcutting McGill, because I've seen him run through traffic. We all have on Nerd TV, but just from what we've seen right now, Jeremy, I mean, we've only seen the 65 in clean air, so I'm just basing it off of what we've seen. But I said you got to make the house call, so you make the house call.
I'm going McGinley. There's no question.
House calls McGinley.
The top 2 is a great pick, regardless. But 65, that's it for me. As we're looking at the 14, Clayton White, P4 for this driver. Brody Marinko not having such a good time, Dustin. He's down 3 spots since his starting spot. And kind of slipping to 89. Bobby Mantle also taking a look. And here we go. Stephen Hayes will win, according to Michael Hayes. I wonder if there's a little bias in that comment.
Nah, that's just brotherly love. We'll just leave it at that. I love how Lester says Lester's going to win. You know what? If Lester finds a way to win, buddy, if you find a way to do that, man, I will bow down to you, because you're not even at the track right now, my guy, so I'll give you props on that. Dustin Franklin says go EJ go, so we know who his pick is to win. So we already got some drivers there, some of them that are doing. Stephen Hayes running well, P4 right now. Mike, sorry, I'm not seeing Mike Lester on the 22 truck field here, so sorry, I can't do that. But EJ Luna solidly in the top 10 as well, so there's a number of the picks right there. And then, of course, Jeremy's house pick, McGinley, is currently at the point as we speak.
Still side by side, 85-44. Back straight away here.
Yeah, these guys have been going at it for a while.
Yeah, another group of trucks that just can't separate from themselves. Temporarily back to single file here. And a little slow, low entrance for the 85 is going to allow EJ to get to the top, cycling back a little bit more. John Harron, the 78. And Dustin Franklin saying, go, EJ, go. That's EJ Luna, currently in 10th at this time. And I think, Dustin, this is going to be a great time for our second picture-in-picture. So you didn't get to do the full first one entirely, so we're going to try it again. We're going to go picture-in-picture. We'll be right back. And back full screen here as we're just getting to lap 100 to scheduled 250 here tonight. Race leader Chad McGinley, 1 second advantage over now second place. 14 Clayton White. Where did he come from?
I was about ready to say it, Mister. Where did he come from?
Yeah, oh, get
Woo.
loose there. He's driving the wheels off that thing, getting the P2, chasing down your race leader. But man, what a drive from Clayton White to go from 4th to 2nd and pull from 3rd place now.
Oh yeah, and then when you seen Clayton White get loose out of turn 2, you seen Austin McGill pancake turn 2, and then Mr. Bobby Mantle, the 89. You had made mention prior to the commercial break about him moving up, and he has now moved up into P4. And Jeremy, he is chasing down Austin McGill in P3 right now. So on the hunt for podium for the first time tonight, 89 Bobby Mantle.
Creeping in a little closer, 7/10 last time, 7/10 this time. Is Joshua Slade really slow in 1 and 2, creeping, letting everyone by? Problems.
He's got damage
for the 12.
He's got damage, Jeremy, and a lot of it on the right front. What happened to the 12? I mean, he had that amazing save, didn't tag anything, but look at the damage to the right front.
Oh, no.
And the nose.
I just go back to his lap 100. Him and John Howard just completely demolished the 12's front end. Here, this is off 1 and 2. They get side by side. And they're going to remain side by side through 3 and 4. And I believe he just got loose. We'll have to take a look here. Nope, there was a little assistance. Boom.
Oh, man.
Man, your view was gracious. Mine, all of his bumpers just flew off the truck. You see the smoke?
Yep.
That means engine is expired. The 12 is done.
That's a tough break for the 12. Good close racing here. Like you said, side by side down the backstretch, going off into turn 3 right now. And he goes down to that line and comes up. And he's just taking that natural approach, but forgot that the 78 was up there on that one. Maybe expected the 78 of John Howard to drift up towards the wall a little bit more than what he did, but paid the ultimate price on that one, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's tough to see there. Very tough. Fast truck out for the evening. Joshua Slade going to fall back to 20th or 21st. See Michael Hayes also saying, let's go Bobby Mantle. It's not lame also says go Mantle. So all of a sudden 89's got a couple cheerleaders running P4 at the moment. And then Dustin Franklin was also calling that wreck at the same time. So he was seeing some things on his end. There we are. The chat's lighting up a little bit there. It took some motivation, but here we are. Appreciate you guys finally putting some votes in, trying to get that $1 million nerd bucks, I guess is what we're going to call that. Again, not coming out of my pocket. It's coming out of Ballistic's pocket. Dustin, how do you feel right now? Do you feel safe with that money, or do you think you might be giving it out?
As it sits right now, based on what we've seen on the track, I mean, the house rule and house pick right now is looking pretty stout. But we got some drivers there that could be knocking that 65 down there a little bit. Clayton White's been really making some moves. Bobby Mantle's moving up. As for actual picks right now, the only ones that are in contention are going to be the 65 and 89. 65 is the house call. 89 is going to go to It's Not Lame, called for the 89 of Bobby Mantle. So if any other non-voted driver wins it, well then it gets canceled out. Nobody wins the nerd crypto bucks for the bragging rights for the Rubbins Racing 250.
There you have it. Mantle driving really fast right now. He needs a caution to get back up there. This 54 now in 6th place. He's 6.5 seconds back. Great first run on the opening laps. And now we're getting to lap 110, 111. And this truck, as the track has rubbered in more and more, has just fallen off pace. He needs to do something in the next pit stop to get that thing to rotate a little bit more or something. Whatever's going wrong with the 54, he's definitely off the pace. And so we'd like to see him back up there.
I'm just wondering if maybe he didn't make adjustments under one of those pit stops and adjusted the wrong way. It happens. These drivers got a lot to do, Jeremy. So when they're in there trying to figure out adjustments as well as making sure they hit their marks for pit stops and not to get penalized, Sometimes they adjust in the wrong direction, and you pay for it on the track. And sometimes you just got to arm and muscle through it, like the 54 is right now, until the next pit stop, so you can correct that and then make the proper adjustment.
It looks like we got a vote that's 100% certain. Michael Lester saying Slade will not win.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Well, he's accurate. That's going to be accurate with the damage that Slade had in the blown motor. Not going to happen. But we asked who was going to win, so unfortunately, that's not going to be in line there, Mr. Lester, for the Nerd Crypto Bucks.
I mean, if you're not going to win the actual pick, you might as well be writing something else. He's
You're
taking
not
the
wrong.
easy. It's the lowest hanging fruit off that tree you could pluck. That is definitely for sure.
Going with the safe bet. I dig that. I can respect that. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like I said, I mean, that's short track racing. I mean, you don't know what the other drivers are going to do. I mean, it wasn't anything malicious that 12 did. The 78 didn't do anything wrong. It was just, an expectation that, the 12 thought that the 78 was going to drift it higher towards the wall, so he was just naturally letting the truck drift up as well to maintain side by side like they did through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch, and the 78 just wasn't drifting it up to the wall. He was running a different line there, and like I said, the 12 got the blunt of the impact on that one.
He also comes back and says he's got Ron Harrington winning tonight, 1 lap down truck in 16th place. So Lester's keeping himself entertained driving all the way down to Georgia.
Hey, you know what? And that's all right. Driving down to Blairsville, Georgia. We hope you have a safe trip. Glad you're listening to us and having some fun with it as well. But yeah, like I said, I mean, these drivers, oh man, look at Stephen Hayes loose off of turn 2, Jeremy, that treacherous turn 2. And Stephen Hayes was dirt tracking it off there. He's coming into I thought he was going to come in the pits there for a second. He was slowing way down and then got back on the throttle again. But Jeremy, these drivers, lap 118 of 250 right now. So we are approaching the halfway point of this race. As you see these drivers, see, a lot of these drivers taking it easy off of turn 2 there. Hayes took it super easy coming off turn 2 that time.
Yeah, he knew that truck was driving like on ice after having that big slide in turn 2, so he had to really creep through 3 and 4 to make sure he wasn't going to loop it around real quick. But kind of looking back, here's EJ Luna in the 24. He's currently in P8, up 7 spots.
Woo!
From his starting spot.
JJ McCoy. Oh, man. These trucks are pissed right now. And not so much the trucks, Jeremy, the tires. The tires are so angry at these drivers right now, and you are seeing it, but these drivers are doing a hell of a job keeping those noses pointed forward. Well, I mean, in JJ McCoy's instance, he was pointing it about 20 degrees forward, but still maintaining it going forward. But these drivers got their hands full right now, for sure, Jeremy.
They absolutely do here. And I think this is a great time to turn up the twos. We're going to listen to these trucks go around in Richmond here. So crank up your sounds a little bit and enjoy it. Here you are. And back to live full screen with our voices back. And we're kicking over to the turn 2 camera here. Dustin's saying there's a lot of loose trucks off corner exit. So we're going to see off this wall camera angles here in turn 2. Great camera angles here. Here's some of your race leaders coming through. They take a shallow exit. You're going to see a couple trucks get really close here.
Oh.
We're just going to see what this looseness looks like.
Yeah, a lot of drivers, like I said, off of turn 2. You're going to see a lot of sliding, a lot of wobbling. Seen a number of contacts going down this backstretch camera, which is where we're at right now. There goes your race leader, Chad McGinley. Here comes P2. There goes Clayton White and Austin McGill, Bobby Mantle, Anthony Emmerich, and here comes that bigger pack. But yeah, we've seen a lot of wall scrapes, a lot of wobbles. We've seen trucks have to collect it and go down to the inside of the track. So these trucks right now and the tires that are on these things are just screaming at these drivers right now. They are not happy at all.
And actually, Mike Lester corrected us, saying he's driving up to Blairsville, Georgia, which has me questioning where you live, because I live on the Space Coast side of Florida, so I want to know how far away you are from there. But I got Sith Racer, a new commenter on the YouTube side, saying, "Go Reapers." So I got some different teams being shouted out. Speaking of these colored spoilers in the teams, the chrome green ones that I've seen, I don't know if I've recognized it until this race tonight, just because of the nighttime situation. But Anthony Emmerich's rocking one right now. Like, I just love the chrome green that they're using right now.
Oh yeah, it's and I love the aspect that they do this for team cars or trucks like that. I mean, it makes it easier for broadcasters up here to call action and know who kind of has a tendency to go with who. So it's amazing. But we were talking about the tires, Jeremy, and look at the pit link right now, the stint link. You have two drivers right now in the top 4. That's going to be McGinley and McGill, as first and third have been out there for 90 laps on their tires as it sits right now, and they are still going. A lot of the other drivers, Jeremy, have come in. You see McGill just makes that pass for P2 over Clayton White, who only has 67 laps on his tires, along with Bobby Mantle's got 67 since his last pit stop as well. So varying pit cycles and strategies here to go along with varying setups.
We'll kind of go over the point situation too, since we got some time looking at the pit strategies and whatnot. Chad McGinley, of course, he's P1. He's 46 ahead of Josh Slade. Bobby Mantle 3rd. EJ Luna 4th. Stephen Knight 5th. But the top 14, that's the ones you transferred. And we have tonight and 2 other weeks to decide who's going to make the top 14 headed off into the playoffs. So if we look at that bubble, 12th place, Clayton White, who's doing a fantastic job tonight. Justin LeBlanc is in 13th in points. He's running 11th. Ron Harrington is the last driver in. He's 14th place. And not such a great night for the 57. And then we got the people that are out looking inward. That's going to be 15th place, Abram Ghostin in the 25 and 12th. Brody Marinko, he's the one running up front more so tonight. He's currently still P6 in the 54, trying to leapfrog a little bit. He needs a good 40 points, 50 points to put himself in contention. So this is going to do wonders for him here tonight if he can continue this pace as they get loose. McCoy gets loose. Stephen Hayes gets loose. Looks like Brody even got a little loose there. And then Jason Schilling, he's 17th, 415 back. So those are your guys. Abram Ghostin, Brody Marinko, Jason Schilling. They're trying to get in. And Abram Ghostin, they're trying to get in. And that's what the bubble looks like right now.
Yeah, and some of those drivers you mentioned not faring so hot. I mean, Joshua Slade's got a comfortable second place lead. He's at this point, he's gonna make the playoffs, but out of the race tonight, he had that engine damage there with the contact. He nosed into the wall. He's sitting P21 right now. You mentioned Stephen Knight, who is not in attendance tonight. So therefore, he's going to lose points just on the sheer fact that he is not here and all these other drivers are gaining it, but still has a comfortable position within the standings right now. They have a little bit of that give and take and fluctuation to where they can do that, Jeremy. I mean, we do it in our leagues as well. when we know that we're in a safe situation. So you talked about you and I both got wins. With my points standings right now at 8th, with the win, I'm locked into the playoffs with 2 races left to go. I could miss a race, even 2, and still make the playoffs. I can miss both of them. So there's some of these drivers that they're in that situation. They have that buffer. They can do that and not have to worry about it. But like you said, there's a number of these drivers, Jeremy, that they're racing for every point they possibly can.
Yeah, McGinley can take a month off and he'd be just fine. Hey, he's running.
And look where he's running right now. Right in a hornet's nest, Jeremy. He has caught a big bunch of lap traffic.
Yeah, he just passed LeBlanc and the 76 and Nick Boyd. Now underneath the 25 Abram Ghost. And this is 11th place. He's got just the top 10 now left over to lap. And right there, right in front of him, the 44, Mark Sherwood, is your 10th place truck. Next person to pass on your screen. So impressive stuff here to lap the entire field. And he's got a 4.2 second lead over second place Austin McGill, which he lost 6/10 trying to pass these lap down trucks right now.
Yeah, lap traffic plays a huge factor in this, and this is something that you have to expect coming to a short track. You expect on longer green flag runs, which we've been on a longer green flag run, that you are gonna have to deal with lap traffic. That's just, it's expected. It really is. But I mean, the way that the 65 McGinley is cutting through these right now, he has lapped all but the top 9. Brad Miner is next on his list to put a lap down right now, and that's who is way up ahead right there, is the 46. So he being McGinley is putting down some very consistent lap times, and the longer this thing goes on, the less trucks that are going to be on the lead lap.
Looking through the field here. I think this is a great time, really, Dustin, to kick over the Nerd TV top 10 recap as we're approaching 100 laps to go in this event. First person up, Chad McGillen, 65. Not much to talk about to him, other than the fact he's led every single lap with 147 laps here this evening. Second place, Austin McGill, worked his way to second and has not really relinquished it for the most part, except for Clayton White from time to time poking his nose in there. Great run here for the 99, getting a little loose off of turn 4. Hangs on there. Third place, Bobby Mantle. This guy started 6th place. He's up to 3rd. And every time he's passed someone, he has not relinquished that position. So currently P3 and doing a very good job holding on to it. 4th place, Clayton White. Kind of slipped back a little bit. Started 7th, moved up to 4th. Was up to 2nd at some points in this race. But he's back almost 7 seconds of your race leader. So between this go round now and the previous, there's been a huge shift in this truck's performance. So he's got some work to do on the next pit stop. Brody Marinko, P5. He was 6th a while ago. He's found himself back to 5th place. Doing a great job in the 54. Already mentioned to him about his point situation, looking to get in to the 14th position. So keep this up and you're going to be doing just fine. JJ McCoy in 6th place. They're in the 22. Knocked all the rust off with his wreck last week. Comes into this week feeling fresh, ready to go. And up 5 positions for the 22. 7th place, Stephen Hayes. They're in the 13. Currently running 15.2 seconds back of your race leader. About 6 seconds left from being lapped down. In his position on the track, he is currently down 3 positions rather from his starting spot. 8th place, who's up 7 spots. EJ Luda in the 24 continue to progress forward a little bit more and more and more. He needs a caution to get himself maybe back into the top 5, or at least for the first time tonight. And then Bradley Miner, 9th place, their last truck on the lead lap, 16.5 back. He's only down 1 spot, so very stagnant, just above the top 10 spot. And then your 10th and final driver in this top 10 recap, Abram Ghostin in the 25. He's the 15th place truck. He also needs some points here. And he's trying to get around 57, does so right there. And that is your top 10 recap.
Yeah, good racing though right here. This is all for position, Jeremy. We just went over them in the top 10 recap. Brad Miner now trying to go ahead of Stephen Hayes, and he does. put Brad Miner up to P8, Stephen Hayes back to P9. And just ahead of these two drivers, you see him right there, the 24 of EJ Luna. That's who Brad Miner and Stephen Hayes are trying to chase down right now. He was able to clear Stephen Hayes there to put himself in 7th. But, Jeremy, this is a gaggle of trucks right now. We've got, lead lap trucks, lap down trucks all bidding for position in some way, shape, or form. And they're all just moving around trying to figure it out. And we got some trucks coming down pit road, Jeremy. Lap 155, pit road, starting to get busy.
Here we go, 46-13. Bradley Miner, Stephen Hayes, they're in right now. And this should open up that window for the final green flag, or I guess the only green flag pit stop here this evening. 14, Clayton White. He gives up 4th place. He's down. And there's 3 trucks in. I'll expect a lot more to come down here in the next 5 to 10 laps tops. 22, JJ McCoy, he's in. And here we go. It's going to get real busy here in the next few laps.
Absolutely. And this right here should be their one and done, Jeremy. We've seen JJ McCoy, Chad McGinley and Austin McGill have been out there on 100-plus laps on their tires. So working lap 157 of 250, we're just under 100 laps. Really, these drivers would not have to come back down if it stays green. So this, if it stays green, Jeremy, would be their one and done. They'd be able to make it on fuel as long as they conserve their tires. They can make it on tires. But we always know that boomer button box caution can always throw a monkey wrench in any pit strategy. Here comes the leader, 65, McGinley to pit road.
We just saw the race leader in real life, Christopher Bell, too fast exiting, so even the leaders can make mistakes. Here comes Austin McGill in the 99. He's going to give up 2nd place. It's going to rotate to Brody Marinko, which he came down pit road. So it's going to rotate maybe to EJ Luna. Nope, EJ Luna's down to Abram Ghostin. He's staying out if he comes down this time, which I would expect him to come or stay out this lap just to get his lap. And he is going to stay out. So if he stays out one more, he's going to give himself a lap lead, help himself out in a point situation. But let's see if he can pick up on that. Only gets to 3rd at the line. Top 4 in. Ghostin is the last one to pit. Does he come down this time? Does he get the lap lead? It's going to be up to him through 3 and 4 here. And for the first time all night long, there is going to be a lead change, Dustin. 25, Abram Ghostin to the top.
Yep, and it's smart. It doesn't seem like it's much, but when every point counts, when you are trying to make it, Brad Miner spinning there in front. There's that caution that's going to throw a monkey wrench in there. But, it's not a real big monkey wrench because, everybody just came down to pits. You might have some drivers come down just to top off, just to maybe if they've got extra sets. They might throw, they've got 2 extra sets behind the wall. They might throw an extra set on just to have the fresh tires and save one in the pits. But that's the beauty of this. We have, different strategies. Some drivers will do it. And this is also going to shake up, Jeremy, where everybody was at. Because like I said, Ghostin was still out there. He still has to come down to pit. But, depending on where he came out and who he had lapped down, there's going to be a lot of drivers that are going to hope for that wave around.
Yeah, there's going to be some that are going to be waving around. I would imagine. You see the 46, Bradley Miner, going to slide through. No contact to be had on the wall or another driver. Does a great job locking it down. Just crosses over to people trying to come through. Look at that. This is the 75.
Gittner. Oh, we got to go. We have to go on board with the 75 because my goodness, was that so close. That was a heck of a job by the 75 of Patrick Gittner to avoid the 46 of Brad Miner. You see Brad Miner gets loose off the corner, fresh tires, and look at that, just gets by. But fresh tires, remember Brad Miner had just come to the service of his virtual crew about 2 laps prior, so those tires were still building up temps and pressures. And turn 2, we had talked about it, Jeremy. Very, very treacherous for these drivers tonight.
Yeah, that's a very tricky corner there, and tire pressure's not built up for sure, and sends Bradley Miner for a little bit of a joyride, or lack of joyride if you're him. And kind of looking through this field here to see who is with the wave around. Going to cycle back up to the front here. It looks
And
like
I don't think anybody is as it sits right now, because Chad McGinley is slotted as your leader, and he's staying out. He's not going to come down pit road again because he wants that track position, and that's what anybody would do in his situation. But what that's going to do is every lap down truck behind them, it locks them a lap down because he is a lead lap truck staying out. So drivers like the 85 of LeBlanc you see behind him, like Brad Miner, they are going to have to cycle and give way to these lead lap trucks, which is going to be the first one is going to be that 99 back there, Austin McGill, and then Clayton White right behind him. So these lap down trucks, unfortunately, are going to have to hope for another Boomer button box caution, which means, Jeremy, we're going to have 2 races going on. We're going to have the race on the lead lap going, but we're also going to have the race for that lucky dog, because these cautions, they can pop up out of nowhere.
Just like what we saw, we had a almost completely filled green flag round of pit stops, and then 46 says, surprise, we got a caution. So,
46 is tires. We'll put it that way. It wasn't. If it was up to Brad Miner, I guarantee you he probably wouldn't have wanted to spin. It was definitely up to his tires on that one.
Yeah, unless you got an itch, you go to second channel at Richmond. Things have happened here where you might want the caution to be brought out. And
Cat jumps on your keyboard.
Yeah, cat jumps on your keyboard. Takes you out of a 6-hour event, part of a 24-hour event that you were doing. It's fun times out here on the virtual side, because you have more than just mechanical failures. You have live animals. You have crying babies. You have power outages, warp, a lot of different things that could happen here, out here on the virtual side of the iRacing service here.
All right, Jeremy. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and let them rip again. So now as it sits, we have less than 100 laps to go. Pace truck pulls off. Field is reset. A lot of fresh tires up there. Green flag does fly right now. Chad McGinley out to about a 2 truck length advantage over 99 and McGill. McGill clears the inside lane. We'll be able to slot into P2. Clayton White right now side by side with Bobby Mantle as they come off turn 2. And it's 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 on the way back, Jeremy.
All the way back. Deep in the field was a quick moment of 3 wide, but that gets sorted out. 3 wide once more. Slow chalk in the back. The top 2 single file now. Clayton White trying to pass Bobby. Oh, we got the 64 Danny White taking the ride like Joshua Slay did earlier tonight through the infield grass. Does not bring out the caution.
No, it does not bring out the caution there. And I don't know if he had any help. It looked like it just got loose coming off of the corner. Yeah, he just got loose coming off of that corner. Tried to correct it, and then it just snapped on the overcorrection there. And these trucks are very sensitive with that. Almost had it saved. Did an excellent job keeping it down, though. But, again, losing a lot of time for the driver of that 64.
Yeah, tons of time without the caution to fly there. 99 McGill trying to attack like he was on the last restart. And just don't use up too much of your tire. But he's going to have a great launch off of turn 2. He's to the outside. McGinley allows him to take it momentarily. Has a little bit of a position. Can he rotate 3 and 4 to tack to the inside? He gets to drive off the corner. He can do it if he wants. He goes to the top where he prefers. And this is the first time we might see a green flag pass made over the 65.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, the 99, talk about truck awareness, knew right where his bumper was at. They were just scraping bumpers. You see him back off a little bit on that one there. It wasn't, he wasn't going to advance at that point in time. So instead of burning his tires up, back off, he's going to restack it, realign it, try it again. As he goes to the outside again, he's going to try that diamond effect. Tries to get the nose on the inside as they come down, just not enough there. McGinley holding a good defensive line there, knowing that low line is the preferred. So not really giving him much of a chance to do it. And the only way that McGill can get it down there is he really has to turn that truck, and that scrubs the speed and kills the run. So again, 65 McGinley, Jeremy, running a very good defensive line right now.
It also tells me that McGill is not comfortable on the inside at all. He had the door open on the front straightaway a couple laps ago. Elected to squeeze the top instead. He had an opportunity on the backstretch as well. Again, same thing, squeezes the top. So it just does not look like that truck wants to rotate as well as he would like it to, even though he's in second place doing a hell of a job. But compared to McGinley, he needs the outside lane to work for him on these opening laps. And so far, still putting the pressure on. They're in with just, what, a couple feet of one another?
Oh, yeah, and it's been like that now since the drop of the green flag on this restart, Jeremy. He's still been putting the pressure on him. Going back and forth right now is the 99 of McGill. So I agree, Jeremy. He's had some opportunity to put the nose on the inside and is elected to go to the outside more than anything else. So, it could possibly be, one, the setup is not geared for the inside to his racing liking, or maybe that's just not how he races it. But, the diamond effect, he gets a good launch in and just rotates it from the center off going down, and he closes in. But the issue is it kills the run. It's a run killer, as he's going to try to look to the inside now, but he has to turn it so much with the line that McGinley is running that it just kills and scrubs off all of that speed and momentum that he had built up. And all that's doing is just killing his tires and heating his tires up. So he cannot maintain this much longer. He's got to make a move and get the nose on the inside. Otherwise, he's going to have to back off and try to realign as he's trying to line it up again all over the back bumper of the 65.
And that was a little defensive there. 65 McGinley takes the inside lane. Looks like the 99 McGill maybe was trying to do that. Oh, to get back to the outside though off of turn 2. Taking another stab at it here. Keeps the... No, he could not do it there, but he's going to try maybe a crossover this time. Locks bumpers. Just cannot get there. There we go. Look to the inside.
It is.
First time tonight we're going to see McGill make the pass effort on the inside. Watch out for that air pocket. Just cannot do it. McGinley too strong.
Yeah, and that's the first time we've seen somebody on the inside, as we have our 5th Boomer Button Box caution of the night, as this race here was starting to heat up there for that lead. And this one here, Jeremy, unfortunately, looks like it's going to involve the 22 of J.J. McCoy.
Oh no. I did not expect to see this. And what a weird line for both Hayes and McCoy, but there goes Hayes. Oh, and a little ramp up the truck of the 24 of EJ Luna. But Stephen Hayes put him in a flat right ship it box and shipped him off into turn 2 exit. Just take another look at it here, Dustin.
Yeah, as they go off into turn 1, very close race in there. You see they both start going down. Stephen Hayes going down the track a little bit more, but there wasn't any room down there, Jeremy. There wasn't a full lane down there at all. And just tagged the left rear of the 22 on that one. 22 getting the blunt of that one there, and the 24 also getting heavy impact damage on the front. But, it's laps are starting to get down, Jeremy. We're starting to wind down. Drivers are starting to try to get every piece of real estate that they possibly can. And, sometimes it looks like that there is an opening down there wide enough for your truck, and, then other times there's not. And it looked like the 22 of McCoy was doing a very similar line to that of the 99 of McGill, trying to diamond that corner off, and that hole just closed up too fast for the 13.
Yeah. We talked about in the pre-race, Dustin. We were trying to figure out what do we name tonight's race? And you talked about something about flipping or doing a barrel or whatever it was, and I said, hopefully there's no one trying to flip at Richmond. But then we just saw EJ Luna pick up JJ McCoy, put him off 2 wheels.
Almost had it.
And we got close. We got close to having something like that happen. I've never seen it on the sim world, but it could happen.
Oh,
what happened at Richmond? We almost did. It was close.
Definitely was. Something else that's going to be close now, Jeremy, is our leader, 65 of McGinley, elected to come down pit road to the service of his crew that time. So he's going to be slotted back in 6th, but he's going to have the fresh tires on there. As it sits right now, the 99 Austin McGill is going to be your race leader. Bobby Mantle, P2. Clayton White rounds out your podium. So McGinley's going to have a little bit of work. Now, we've seen McGinley try this before, Jeremy, at shorter tracks. And sometimes it works, but if memory serves me, he kind of hurt himself on a potential win. I'm trying to remember what track it was. I want to say it was Lucas Oil, where he was just further back in the pack, and he elected to come to get the fresh tires and was trying to work through the traffic and just got collected in a number of incidents, and it just the truck just wasn't the same. So hopefully it pans out and plays out a little bit better than what it did earlier in the season on this strategy, because the racing's going to get more intense. That one, Jeremy, for sure is a guarantee.
And I see that from time to time too, where it's like, I'm gonna make this call, and then it backfires really bad. And there's not too many trucks in front of the 65, so I don't see that being too much of an issue. But of course, on cold tires, anything can be an issue. We're gonna see him stack up here. 1 lap to go. Gonna restart this race on lap 184.
I'm sorry, I have to. Lester does this to me every time. He makes me chuckle mid-broadcast every time. His comment says, Wednesday's meeting, talking about the owners' meeting, is going to be very interesting. I might have to make this one. So, this is the life of short track racing, though. Sith Racer says, great coverage of the 65 versus 99 race. Very much appreciated. We try to bring all the action and angles to you guys. But, Jeremy, take us away.
Here we go. Looking at a new race here. Oh, the 26 John Day Mateo. He did not press the go button. He's going to fall back several spots. McGinley checks up, has to duck in front of the 24 EJ Luna, who lifted up his teammate on that last caution. Through turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Top 2 single file through, nope, 2 wide here. As Brody Marico making a great run over the top of 13. Stephen Hayes now looking at the 14, who gets loose, goes really deep to the bottom. 3, nope, Stephen Hayes backs out of it. 2 wide contact. Clayton White around. Wrecks the 26, John Day Mateo. 1 truck spin, and there's the 6th caution here this evening, presented by Boomer Button Boxes. And I kind of saw that, Dustin. The 14 drives it in deep because he got loose, but did not check up for the corner entrance, and slaps Brody Marinko in corner entry.
Yeah, he gets loose there at the start-finish line, like you said, way low, so he's super deep. You see him backfire. He let off, trying to prep for that, but just didn't let off enough on that one. And that's an unfortunate, turn of events. So go back and watch that again. You'll see it gets loose here, and he's out of the throttle. Right there is where the backfire initially hit on the replay, but he just didn't back out enough, and you can't go in that deep and that hard like that. He had to check up just a little bit more to make it, and oh man, McGinley just barely getting by. Stephen Hayes catching a piece of it. De Matteo getting the biggest piece of that one there, though, taking out the complete back panel of the 14 there, and then iRacing says, nah, we'll fix that for you, abracadabra style. So good heads up driving, though, Jeremy, because there was a pack down there. They went 2-3 wide there to get around the 14. So
Seth Racer says, great driving by Hayes to stand back on that one. As they're going to go down pit road here. We're going to take a quick picture-in-picture and be back before the drop the green flag here for the final 60 laps or so of the Rubbins Racing 250. Back to full screen here. 1 lap to go. We're going to resume this race on lap 191, which will put us exactly 60 laps remaining in tonight's race. 250 laps, 3 green, white checker to tips if needed. Austin McGill going to be starting first. Let's take the inside over new person in second place, Bobby Mantle. Row number 2 will consist of Brody Marinko in the 54, Chad McGinley, the dominant truck all night tonight, in 4th. Mark Sherwood in 5th. Abram Ghost in 6th. EJ Luna 7th. Stephen Hayes in 8th. Clayton White 9th. Danny White, top 10. Truck down. Green flag is out. Austin with a great launch over the 89 in the entire field. The 65 trying to split. 2nd and 3rd. 3 wide. Elects not to do it. Backs it down. 89 going to run way high there in 1 and 2. Going to get a decent launch off the corner exit. Not going to be able to clear Brody. Getting to turn 3. Brody's on the preferred line. Abram in about 5th place slides it deep into turn 3. He's going to lose a spot on that transaction, 99. Well, never mind. We're going to rack him and stack him again for the 7th caution, presented by Boomer Button Boxes. And looks like it's going to involve the 85 of Justin LeBlanc off of turn number 4. Solo spinner here, Dustin.
Solo spinner, and actually, well, that was the wrong one. That was De Matteo, but solo spinner there, Justin LeBlanc. But Jeremy, it cautions, breed cautions. You know, we talk about this all the time. That's just through the, you know, because everybody's stacked up. A little bit of 3 wide there. 85 trying to keep it in the center. Solo spin. Ooh, JJ McCoy just missing it there as the 85 goes around, locks it down, does an excellent job, but not able to prevent the Boomer Button Box caution coming out again for tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's I think our 4th solo spin we've seen tonight out of the 7 cautions here. So, loose track. It's been turn 2 primarily, at least for the first half, and then turn 4 all of a sudden became a hot, slick surface for these guys right now.
Well, it's been about 50-50. I mean, we've had a number of them spin off of that treacherous turn 2, but we've had a few of them, Jeremy, that have spun off and gone to the inside coming off of 4 now. So, I mean, it's been almost exactly a 50-50 split. So, turn 2 and turn 4 right now are definitely bidding and fighting for the title of Coffin Corner.
At Richmond, it's I feel like it's always that battle of balance between those 2 corners. I saw the 78, John Howard. He's going to get the lucky dog, be back on the lead lap. 13 trucks now on that lead lap. 3 trucks on pit road. JJ McCoy is one of them. John De Matteo, he came down to fix that nose damage. Danny White in the 64. Those 3 trucks head down pit road to see their crew members for either just fuel, maybe a 2 tire stop, maybe some damage, whatever the case is. That should be their final pit stop, I believe, depending on what tires are left in pit road. But this is kind of helping the case of Chad McGinley, I think. Fastest truck, of course, doesn't have to work for his spots. He's just going to kind of maintain his spot here. Did a great job on that last restart. And but we're going to see again what the 99 can do with some fresh, clean air. Remember, he's really fast behind Chad McGinley, but now he has to pace himself. And once he gets that long green flag run, Dustin, either you're going to blister those tires too quick, or you can do something magical out there and you have a shot at the win.
Yeah, and just like these cautions are helping the 65 McGinley work his way back up after taking his pit stop to get fresh rubber, it is also helping the 99, remember, and the 54 and the 89, because they're out there on older tires compared to that of the 65. So every lap that's pulled under caution is one less lap that they are running at full pace and full speed on these tires. So that's saving tire wear and tire temps on these. It's allowing them to cool them off, to get them back to proper temp. So it's extending the life of their tires as well. So, I mean, if we have a couple more cautions, Jeremy, I mean, it could balance these out, and it could be a toss-up on where it can go. I mean, all of these drivers right now in the top 4 we have seen perform just amazingly. I mean, we've seen the 54 run hard. We've seen the 99. The 89 has worked his way up and, I mean, has not left the top 4 since making it there. We know McGinley he's locked in the most laps led tonight. so we know he can perform. So it's literally a toss-up on this. It's just who can maintain their tires the best to give them the best amount of effort there at the end where it's going to count.
Yeah, and that's going to be the game at this point forward. Got half a lap left. We're going to go back to green flag. Resuming on lap 198. So 53 laps remaining when the flag flies for the Rubbins Racing 250 at the simulated Richmond Raceway. Austin McGill's going to try to do the same thing on this restart. Clear the 54, 89, everybody else behind him. Pace truck down. Geico restart zone. Green flag. Just like that, we're back underway here. Nice little one truck advantage over to 54. Goes McGill. Cuts to the inside there sharply. He's going to clear 2 truck lengths. 54 Marinko's chasing him down. Cuts in front of the 89. Now it's a 65, 89. Teammates door to door into turn 3. McGinley's almost cleared. I think he's going to be able to do it off of turn 4. Does so. Up to 3 goes to 65.
Yeah, the 44, Mark Sherwood, got loose coming out of turn 4 there, but that's a good thing with racing teammates. The 89 of Mantle was not just going to give it to McGinley, but he also wasn't going to race him as hard as somebody else either, because he's not going to want to risk the chance of taking both team trucks out. So, I mean, that's the one thing that he had going side by side with the 89. But right now, that just allows McGinley to set sail towards the 54 and 89. I tell you what, Marinko's starting to close in. Put a little bit of pressure on the 99, your race leader here, as they come off turn 2. Oh, wall tag back there. That looked like that was Mark Sherwood wall tagging it and pancaking it off turn 2.
Yep, I hopped it all up there to 44 Mark Sherwood. Now it's another tally to the mark of the drivers who hit the turn 2 outside wall. And, yeah.
We need to get a sponsorship from IHOP with Pocono and tonight. Oh, and your race leader pancakes it. I'm telling you, IHOP, man, if you ever sit here and come across ours, let's work something out. We got this.
We can flavor you up with lots of different flavors on the virtual side here. And I can't tell, Dustin. I really can't tell if McGill is pacing himself, because he was so fast with McGinley in front. And now he's got Marinko all of a sudden putting pressure. So I just really can't tell if he's pacing himself or if he's just not as good with fresh air, which would be hard to believe. But Marinko's doing a hell of a job here, keeping the pace right up against the bumper. Maybe looking to the inside, does not do it this time. But McGinley slowly creeping in here.
Yeah, but if you see right now, Austin McGill is running the exact same line that he was chasing for 100-plus laps prior. Except for that corner there, he had been painting that yellow line, cutting off that inside preferred groove for Brody Marinko, essentially doing the same thing that McGinley was doing to him for 100-plus laps. So you might be onto something, Jeremy. He might be pacing himself knowing that McGinley is only 2 trucks back with fresh tires, but I tell you what, here goes the 54 right now to the inside. He's going to sit here and try to make a bid for this lead, side by side, coming off turn 4.
Great awareness by Austin McGill. Slides up the track a little bit more, knowing that Brody drove it in deep, and the 3 gave him the time in the room to slide up a half a lane. Takes turn 1 and turn 2 to almost clear him. Almost makes contact to the left rear. Gets to the bottom of the track, paints the line like you say, moves up just a little bit. McGill's going to get a launch off the corner. Nope, Brody's going to be able to power it down early. This is going to reel in Chad McGinley just a little bit closer. Top 3, though, a whole 2 seconds ahead of 4th place.
Yeah, and that was a good move there. The 99 kind of backed off and let Marinko take it, realizing that that man right there was closing in, and that's one thing you do not want to be doing right now when you are working, 42 laps left in this race. You want to sit here and try to make it to the end. You don't want to be battling each other right now and allowing him to close up, because he's closing in a hurry, Jeremy, and he's got fresh tires. We look at that pit stint length right now, and if you look at McGinley, 27, but Marinko's on the same strategy right now, so that's why. So maybe the 99 of McGill was not kind of holding back a little bit. Both the 54 and the 65, that's Marinko and McGinley, are on the same pit strategy, as we got a battle right now heating up for P2.
That's a good call there. 20-plus laps difference between these two. And the 99 McGill cuts off Chad McGill. He's running the turn 2 exit, able to keep him behind him from yet another lap. Gets to lap 209. It's going to put us 42 laps to go in this event. Ooh, McGinley really drives it much better in the center of the corner with the newer tires. Had to lift. Gets to turn 3, just shows how hard it is to pass. 20 lap different tires. Nope, I'm still stuck behind the guy that's in front of me right now. As Brody Marico trying to set sail.
Yeah, he's setting sail and taking off. That 20-plus lap difference in tires, is really helping out. Man, 65 really had to shoot up the track on that one there as they were coming off of turn 2. It put a little bit of separation right now in between both of these drivers as they're coming and working off turn 4. But this is not what the 65 is wanting. He's really having to work these tires and really have to heat them up. The 99 is doing an excellent defensive job. But right there, one of these times that 65 is going to sit here and give just a little bit of a bumper tag there and, give him a little bit of a bump and run to try to work him up the track. But I tell you what, this racing, Jeremy, is getting really, really good. And this is just for your top 3 right now. We still got racing going on further back in the pack.
Side by side here through 1 and 2. Great effort here as Dustin's doing a great job flying this camera. It's kind of difficult to do this, but it doesn't look the smoothest right now. But hey, it's still keeping track of these two still side by side at the line there. Temporarily still goes in the favor of McGill. He's gonna, oh, I heard somebody blow. I think that was someone in pit road, but we'll continue here. McGinley half a truck length away from clearing. Austin's gonna take, I think, his last effort possibly. No, he's going to be able to hold his track position. Still keeps it by half a truck. Goes to the 65 of McGill this time or left the line. And McGill, I'm surprised he's still able to hold on so far. Nope, there it is. Caution for the 8th time this evening. Presented by, of course, Boomer Button Boxes. And Dustin, who do we got for this caution? I do not see it at the moment.
And that's just it. I do not see it at the moment either on this one. There is nothing popping up on any telemetry on the backside on where this came in at. It just says yellow flag.
All right. Well, it wasn't thrown by admins. So we're going to take a look here. I have got something on my screen here. See where that comes from.
Oh, was it...
Oh, I got it. John Howard in the 78, Justin LeBlanc in the 85.
I was just going to say LeBlanc because he is missing his left front fender completely.
I don't know. I'm going to see it here. We're just going to drive right into him. Send him around for a loop-de-loo. And do they hit the wall? I think the 80-70 is going to do it.
Right,
just
there.
A little bumper tag.
Yep.
85 virtually unharmed, just a little scratch on the right front. Not going to poke a tire. It's a virtual tire. You're good to go on that notion, but just drove up the turn 4 corner exit and swiped the 78 in the meantime.
Yep. And now, and just as I was expecting, this is going to reset everything. I figured with this caution that at least the 99 of McGill was going to come into pit knowing that his tires were outmatched and outgunned by the other drivers. But every lead lap truck had the same idea on that one there, Jeremy. With 40 laps to go, we're looking at just at 40 laps to go in this event. It would have been a very tough call to say I'm going to stay out in a situation like that. But what that does now is puts everybody on the same cycle. They all have the same tires on there. They're on the same cycle now, and now that is going to cycle Chad McGinley. Is actually going to be sitting P2. Danny White is actually going to be slotted as your first place truck right now, but that's going to put McGinley ahead of the two drivers that he was just trying to best and pass prior to that this 8th Boomer Button Box caution.
Yeah, Brody came into pit stops ahead of McGinley, but McGinley with the best pit stall in the house barely had to roll the truck, and he took it. But Danny White staying out. He's going to lead some laps. This is going to be our 4th different leader in the Rubbins Racing 250. As we're going to be restarting this race, I think, on lap 220, which will put us at 31 laps to go. And there's your pit telemetry there, 24 laps on Danny White's tires.
So 23
not gonna
difference.
hold. Yeah, not going to hold against McGinley Marico. McGill, on the other hand, well, he's got new tires too, so we're going to see what that looks like for him. But yeah, good call though, because Danny White's been running top 10-ish, so if he can be able to hold top 5, top 6, it's still a net gain for the 64.
It is, and remember the 64 was still trying to come back from that turn 4 spin that he had into the infield grass where the caution did not come out. So this right here, I mean, you know, that's what drivers have to do. They have to weigh it. You know, hey, is it worth me going in and getting fresh tires and being stuck further in the field, or does track position help me right now? And I just try to hope for that caution to where I can try to even out on track position with everybody else. And the 64, Danny White elected to go the track position, plus the bonus points for leading the lap as well, because even though it's under caution, it's still bonus points, still leading the lap as well. So, you know what? In his situation, I probably would have done the exact same thing, Jeremy. I cannot blame the 64, Danny White, on his call at all.
Great call. I love it. Going to mix up. He's going to drop back quick, at least to the top 3, top 4, but needless to say, he's going to control this restart. So let's see if Brody can match it and maybe get back around McKinley. Pace truck down, Geico restart, and there it is. Green flag is out. Oh, no, the 64.
Oh!
He missed a gear. It had to have been. Had a great launch and just did not go to third gear or whatever the case was. Backs it down. The 54 checked up, not trying to get a black flag. He's going to slow him down just a little bit. But McGill back to the top here for the P1. But yeah, it's going to be a little mix-up here in the top 5.
Oh, yeah, that was... Oh, man, that was tough. That was tough to watch there. We're inside here, just going up through. It's... Oh, yeah, missed a gear on that. You can see that tack, his RPM gauge on that tack was just pegged and hitting that chip.
Sorry, we got a wreck again for the 9th caution here tonight. 3 wide, turn 2. Danny White hits the 13 of Stephen Hayes, crosses the front bumper of the 25. Abram Ghostin. And this is going to cause some damage to a couple trucks out here. Try to find it here on the Nerd TV replay. I think we finally found something here. All right, this is turn 1. This happens off of turn 2. We're going to go 3 wide. 64 is going to come down, not realizing there was 13 kind of high.
Ooh.
Crosses bumpers here. And bonk. Just like that. 9th caution.
9th caution. There's something that's popping up here, and I'm kind of interested to see what this one is.
What do you got?
This one said it was with McGinley, so I'm kind of... Oh! Whoa!
Oh, my.
Simultaneous spins. We were watching the 13. No!
Oh, no.
Oh, man. That happened so far up. We were watching the contact that came out with Stephen Hayes that we didn't even get a chance to see what happened up there. Oh, man, that was hard impact on that one, too.
What happened? Oh, okay. I kind of went to the chase view of McGinley, and he got loose. He had a lift. You're going to see just the massive gain right here. Just a little wobble. Austin didn't register it. He tagged him.
You know,
that's unfortunate.
We're going to go to that chase cam because that's going to give us the best one. So here's that run. This is the battle for the lead. You see he backed out of it there. So he felt that it was already starting to get loose, and there you can see his truck starting to slide. And McGill just couldn't check up in time on that one. Just happened to send the 65 down, hard impact in that inside wall though. Jeremy, that could be race winning implications on that one there. Not having the truck able, depending on what the damage is. I mean, that front nose is pancaked in pretty bad on that one there, and it was solid front nose impact.
Yes, Sith says no, all in caps on the YouTube side. Hate to see it. McGinley did not go down pit road that last time by for repairs. I'm sure he's looking at his gauge and saying, okay, at least my RPMs are stable. You hit directly in the front, so you always got to worry about that radiator. Make sure nothing's going to overheat. You see the damage there, a little peeled up on the right front side of that hood bumper area. But as we kind of drone fly back onto the roof, very nicely done. It's short track. You're not in need of that aerodynamic situation. I'm just worried about the radiator of that 65 right now.
Yeah, like you said, Sith Racer says no. Lester says I'm going to bring the popcorn Wednesday. Talking about the owners meeting. But no, you're right. You don't need the aerodynamics, but like you said, the concern now from us up in the broadcast booth, Jeremy, we've been doing this for a long time now. We've called a lot of races. I mean, we're in the hundreds of broadcasts, and at some point in time, I think we're actually pushing 400 plus. We've seen a lot of stuff, and the biggest concern for you and I up here both, and you nailed it on the head, is internal mechanical damage on that. How is the power plant in that 65? If it is under horsepower, he's going to feel the effect of that because it's not going to be able to hit the RPM range needed to maximize, that truck in its entirety. Is the RPMs down? How's the power plant? How's the radiator? Is it going to have a cooling effect? Or overheat effect because it's not cooling it down as much. You get these oil temps and water temps up too high, Jeremy, and it's a short time after that, and that thing grenades. So definitely something we know the 65 is going to be watching.
Hayes truck is down. We're going to find out. John McGinley's teammate right behind Austin McGill on this restart. Here we go. Green flag is out. 9-9 with a great launch. 54. Marinko going to file second place. Single file unless McGill drives it in deep. Mantle. He does, not able to stick it. Oh, the 44 gets loose, crosses in front of EJ. Contact with more to Chad McGinley. 3 wide, bumper tag, 64. Gets knocked up the track. Chad McGinley gets a 2-for-1 special there in turn 3 and 4. Chaos still down the front straightaway.
Oh, we're still 3 wide back here. You got Hayes up top, McCoy in the middle, DeMatteo's down. Oh, Clayton White loses it in turn 1. There's a caution, and it's going to collect JJ McCoy. Again, involved in another one there, just nowhere to go, right in front of him, and he was in the middle, Jeremy. There was nothing he could do on that one.
Clayton White, just great entrance there, and I actually think he might have got swiped by Abram Ghost, and we're going to see if we can take a close look at this. 25 was coming down the track at the same time. The 14 got loose. We're going to find out right here live. Takes that sharp entrance there.
Oh, yep, there was contact. There was contact there on that right front nose of the 14 of Clayton White, and it was just enough to send him. Like I said, JJ McCoy had nowhere to go. Brad Miner had nowhere to go. It literally just blocked that track right in front of him. Oh, man, hard impact for the 14 in that outside wall. Tough break for these drivers. I mean, this is short track racing, though, Jeremy. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It is a whole new beast. And by the time you are done racing a short track, I mean, you are just physically and mentally just beat up. You see the 14 was getting loose already going into the corner, but that contact from the 25 of Abram Ghostin just was the nail that sealed the coffin on that one there. It took all of the right front grip and bite from Clayton's truck and just deleted it, just gone.
You see Justin LeBlanc driving through. He looked like Dustin Logston from yesterday to win the race at Talladega. Just drives to the inside of the wreck that slides across his face. Stays clear of that one.
I didn't even catch that one. Did not even catch that. All right, you got me interested. We're going to go on board with LeBlanc on that one.
Just picture this at Talladega, and this is what happened in turn 3 and final lap last night for Dustin. Wreck happens.
There it is right there.
And you said, I'm going to win.
Very similar, only at much higher rates of speed. It was more of a blur for me. So, but yeah, there's times where you not reacting and lifting sometimes helps out. So I mean, good heads up driving by some of those guys. Like I said, JJ McCoy, Brad Miner. I mean, just wrong place at the wrong time. There was no place they could go. They were 3 wide. It was just a perfect storm, so to speak. Like I said, the 14 of Clayton White, you could tell that it was yawn on that right rear already. But it was still possible that he could have kept it. But the second contact was made on that right front. Like I said, any grip that he had in the front nose of that truck was just deleted instantly. And that's why you seen him go around.
Clayton White is your third DNF here tonight. Backs it down. Exits the truck after that spin out there on this caution. First time, Dustin, I think we've seen double-digit cautions in a long time, if not ever, for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series, and it's at Richmond.
Yeah, and then like I said, I mean, It's nothing against the league, nothing against the drivers. This is short track racing, folks. There is nothing to be upset. I mean, are some of these cautions, could they have been avoided? Yeah, any caution technically probably can be avoided. But, I mean, my expectation going into a short track, I expect this because the racing is so much closer. You look at all the other races that we have done for the Global Racing Truck Series. I mean, the caution count's low. Racing's been really good. I expect this at a short track. I would expect, more cautions at Martinsville, at Bristol. That's just what I would expect. Lucas Oil, that's what it's a short track, Jeremy. You can't get away from it. You can't. Every once in a while you get lucky, but like I always say, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So, I mean, you can go caution-free in it, but, I mean, you put so many drivers on a track like that, and it's a small track, it's going to happen. These drivers, though, I mean, they're doing a heck of a job. A lot of them are still persevering, Jeremy. I mean, we still got racing to go. It's gonna be an awesome finish.
Yeah, you always know there's going to be some type of excitement, whether it be a long green flag run or lots of cautions. Either way, it's been a good show so far. Green flag is out on lap 234. We resume this race. 17 laps to go in the Robbins race in 250. Bobby Mantle looks to the inside of Marinko, cannot make it stick. EJ Luna to the top, trying to get the gap. He does. Makes Mantle look a little different on corner exit. There goes McGinley. Looks like he's still up to speed, trying to pass these two guys currently holding P5. There's still side by side for third. McGill's got a 3 truck length advantage over Marinko in second. And EJ Luna, great run off of turn 1 to turn 2. Gets loose, trying to clear him, does not. He had to back it down just a little bit because of that squirreliness off of turn 2.
Yeah, but I mean, what a fight that the 24 of Luna's putting up on that high side, but it's going to be to no avail right now. You see Mantle's got the run, got him cleared going in, but EJ Luna's still trying to fight. He's got the 65 McGinley on his inside now. McGinley still fighting forward with that front nose damage that he has, but again, I agree, Jeremy, does not look like it's slowing him down up to this point right now. We'll have to see how it works as we start working our way towards the elevated esports 1 to go and eventually the Martin Sports winning moment checkered flag. But right now he's still putting a good fight. But look at this fight going on further back here, Jeremy. Gaggle of trucks still all trying to bid for position. You got damaged trucks everywhere, trucks getting loose, trucks getting tight. It's getting good.
It's getting very good about mid-pack right now. Mark Sherwood look underneath Abram here. These are on your screen. There you go. You're seeing the battle here just outside the top 5. Mark Sherwood trying to do everything he can. Just can't get the drive off corner exit like he would like. Stephen Hayes to the top. Drives the center a little bit nicer. Gets off on corner exit. Also a little nicer. Gets 44 at the line this time. 12 laps to go. 13 drives it in high up in that second to third lane. Clears the 44. Sherwood back to single file for the top 10.
Yeah, excellent drive on that high side. We're seeing that high side start to come in as long as it's done right. Excellent move there by the 13 of Stephen Hayes to secure that 7th place for the time being. Back up front, though, 99 of Austin McGill still leading the way right now. He's got about a 4 or 5 truck length lead over the 54 of Brody Marinko. So Marinko running a solid race as well. And these guys have just driven away from the 89 of Bobby Mantle. Mantle still sitting comfortably in that podium spot. Has about a 4 truck length lead over his teammate Chad McGinley. But McGinley right now, Jeremy, we might be seeing some of the effects of that damage. The 24 of EJ Luna starting to creep back into the picture again, closing in on the rear tailgate of the 65 of McGinley.
Getting really close here. 10 laps to go, 9 at the line. EJ getting a little loose off that corner. That truck is looking uncomfortable here on the opening laps. Trying to do what he can.
Well, he's got a little bit of damage too. Remember, he was the one that lifted up JJ McCoy where we almost had our rollover.
This is very true. This is very true. That nose damage on the 24 almost flipped him over. Which that's the first time I've seen it in a while. Tires lifted up off the ground. Then we've seen that twice.
We have.
The last caution as well at the 22 and the 14. 8 laps to go now, 7.5 on the back straightaway here. Look at the lead McGill has, just 1 second advantage over Marinko, running qualifying laps out there, knowing he doesn't have to save the tires anymore. Just clinic to finish this thing out.
Oh, yeah. He's got clean air. He's got clean track. He doesn't have lap traffic in front of him. He's got nothing stopping him. So he's just focusing on hitting his marks, and he is just driving away from the 54. Strong effort, though, from the 54 and Brody Marinko and that whole 54 camp right now, because they've been running a solid race. Bobby Mantle, like I said, he up 3 positions. He's pretty much been in the top 5. And I got to give props to the 65 McGinley, that front nose damage, and EJ Luna, both of them. We both know that they have front nose damage from some type of incidents or cautions in this race. And look at them running solidly in the top 5, running 4th and 5th respectively. So, I mean, hands, excellent job by all the drivers.
Yeah. Definitely agree there. We're at 5 laps to go. Coming up to 4 with 2.5 lead, 99.54. Bobby Mantle, 3rd place, 2.5 back. McGinley, 4th, 3.25. Really spaced out here within the top 5.
McCoy and LeBlanc, Jeremy, they just can't get away from each other. They've been putting on some good racing, though.
The only battle really on track, at least for side-by-side action, clears them momentarily. Has a nice little 2-3 truck length advantage. Just 85 just misjudged turn 2. It almost seemed like going through there that set of corners. 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go, or no, 3 laps to go now, sorry. And yeah, this is about the only action on the track. 99 McGill, a little loose off of turn 2 though, trying to get a last little reaction from us here. 2 laps to go, Dustin.
Yeah, 2 laps to go as he crosses the line. Right now, everybody just, pretty much solid where they're running right now in the top 5. Stephen Hayes, I mean, everybody's got space between them. About the only ones that can change positions right now are going to be for that 8th, 9th, and 10th position, is they're all nose to tail right now, and even McCoy back there in 11th trying to find his way into the top 10 as we are under our elevated esports racing 1 to go. Austin McGill leading the way. 1 truck separates him and the checkered flag. He's going to go to the inside, Jeremy, but it's clean sailing right now for that 99 team.
Final time through 3 and 4. Here he comes to the line. Austin McGill will get it done here for the Robbins Racing 250 for the first win in the 2024 campaign. Great job by Austin. Excellent runs on the short run end. Kind of opened himself up to the lead here in the long half of the race. And at the closing, has the speed, runs all the qualifying laps that truck had, and gets it done. Now, here we go. This is not the friendliest of contact. I was wondering if that was going to happen. Luna almost hits the tire or the water barrels there.
Well, and I don't know if there was anything with that one. That was just a good bump on the back end there. Sure. I mean, McGinley's a solid driver. I mean, he knows if he got loose. I mean, he looks at the bigger picture a lot of times. So I don't think there was nothing malice there that was from the 99 on that incident. I mean, it was unfortunate. I don't like to see anybody's chances, disappear like that, but I mean, this is the product of short track racing. I mean, a driver got loose, one driver couldn't check up in time, and contact was made. There was nothing intentional about it. So I do want to go on the record though, Jeremy, that we were talking about house drivers. Not that I'm a fortune teller or anything else, but I think one of us did say the 99.
One of us did say the 99. That makes perfect sense why you're defending the 99.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Because he took out my pick.
All right. I 65. See. No, like I said, I mean, we went back and looked at it. I mean, I would look at it the same way if I was in the 65 shoes. I know if I'm counter steering and I know if I'm throttling out of the truck. I know I'm loose. So, stuff happens. How many times has that happened at Daytona and Talladega for our league races, Jeremy? I mean, it happens.
Yeah, the 1 second decision from the 99, and it only takes just 1 second to win it or lose it at a short track anywhere, really. But here's the unofficial results for the Robbins Racing 250. Austin McGill P1, Brody Marinko 2nd, Bobby Mantle 3rd, Chad McGinley in 4th. EJ Luna rounds out about 5-10 spots earned for the 24. Stephen Hayes in 6th, Abram Ghostin in 7th, Mark Sherwood 8th, Danny White in 9th, John Howard in 10th, JJ McCoy back to 11th, Justin LeBlanc in 12th, Anthony Emmerich 13th place, 14th, John Day Mateo, 15th on back, 1 lap down or more. That'll be Ron Harrington, Bradley Miner, Nick Boyd, Patrick Gentner, Clayton White, Shane Wielden, Joshua Slade, and Jason Schilling rounds out the 22 entries here tonight. Going to full screen, and then we're going to gather up our top 3, and we'll be right back. And here, full screen for the post-race show, presented by Martin Sports. I think we got our top 3 gathered up here tonight. Bobby Mantle is going to be the first person to bring in. 3rd place finisher this evening, driver number 89. Bobby, congrats on P3.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, up 3 spots, started 6th, finished 3rd. Very clean race on your behalf there from what I saw anyways. Walk us through your night there and how are you able to kind of gain those spots to get yourself into 3rd place tonight?
Well, I just want to start off and say it was pretty clean until I tail slapped the wall towards the end. I don't know if you guys caught that. I got pretty loose coming out of 2, and I knew my only chance to save myself was to put my truck into that wall. So I just threw myself into the wall, took the little bit of damage, but it was better than completely spinning out. Earlier on, I tried to go off strategy a little bit. I've seen others do that, like Slade, quite often and have it work out well for them. So that was working well until cautions started coming out, and I was down 1 set of tires more than everyone else. And that strategy kind of went out the window pretty quick. So I just tried to hang on to the positions as best I could and try not to let guys by me. I knew I had some long run pace. I just had to fight off some of these guys that were quicker in the short run.
Well, that you did, man, and good stuff overall. The truck the race out did not catch the tail slap there late in the going, but we'll just keep that underneath the radar. We won't say it actually happened, but there you go, man. Good job overall, solid run. Good another point stay there. How you feeling going to the championship? I know we've got 3 to 4 weeks before we have our first race. What do you think your chances are for this season?
I don't know. There's some pretty stiff competition this season, so I'm really going to have to step up my game and start putting in more hours, turning more laps, and really try and show up more than I have been.
Well, there we go. Showing up every single week will give you a better chance than not. So good luck going forward, man. Congratulations again tonight. Hopefully we'll talk to you more often each week, but floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Thanks. Well, big shout out to you guys. Love this broadcast. It's a ton of fun to go back and watch. I got to say, shout out to my 2 friends that always tune in and watch. It's Not Lame and D Faust. They're always there supporting me.
They were there tonight.
I knew they would be. Guys here at Grim Reaper, they're great to work with. Going back and forth, working on setups with each other. It's been a great help, and just thankful for all the guys that are here. Like for the most part, we do pretty well here, I think, and the guys are doing a good job. So shout out to the league and everyone that's tuned in to watch.
And everyone's got positive mindsets, and it shows on the track. Absolutely, man. Love to see it each and single week, but congratulations once more. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll catch you next one.
All right, thanks. See you guys.
Yes, sir. That was 89, Bobby Mansell there. And we're going to turn our attention to now second place. We don't talk to this man too often, number 54, Brody Marinko. What's going on, man? Congratulations.
Thank you, man. It was a good race. I mean, I don't think we could have played strategy any different, and we honestly played it pretty well. Congrats to Austin. Had a great race though. Can't thank One of One Motorsports enough for giving me the opportunity to race with these guys.
Yeah, did you make any type of adjustments in that 54? Like it seemed that some runs you were doing very good, and then there was a couple other ones where you backed it down quite a bit. Was that just you changing up your driving style, or did you make physical changes to the truck throughout the race?
I mean, there's a little bit of both. I mean, on that first little run before the first caution, it was just not driving the way I wanted to, so I made a little adjustment, and then from there I just left it. Honestly, changed the way I drove, changed the lineup a little bit, and luckily it worked enough to give us a P2 finish.
Yeah, it really did there. Smooth sailing for your truck overall. Very clean looking, and yeah, just great run overall. This is going to be good for you in the coming up to the championship contention. I think you're just outside, if I remember that right, from what I was talking about earlier. So this is going to put you now in that bubble of being in. So what are you going to do this final 2 weeks to kind of seal the deal?
Well, it's all about practice. I'm gonna be gone this next week, so I'm gonna be limited with practice. But I'm gonna do as much as I can, and the points are gonna be a little dicey, I think, because the two drivers in front of me, I luckily finished in front of them, but the driver behind me was Austin McGill, so that's just gonna shake things up a little bit. But like I said, it's all about practice, and I think that's just the most important thing.
There you go. And I couldn't agree more, man. Congratulations once more. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Nope, man.
That's it. Clean sailing. All right, man. Well, have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you, man. You too.
Thank you. That was Brody Marinko there in the 54. And now it's time to turn our attention to your race winner for the first time in 2024, Austin McGill. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, man, great job. You had a really stout opening truck on any restart. You're able to contend with Chad McGinley there. It looked like you were just too timid to run the bottom. You kept running the top. You kept having opportunities to have it to the bottom, but you relied on the top. You played the patience game. It seemed to pay off there. You had the lead for a little bit, and then just kind of take us through when you finally got the lead for the first time. Were you thinking you finally had a shot at doing this thing tonight?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I did get the lead, I did have a slight feeling that I would have a pretty good chance. I was running up front almost the whole race. Like I said to my team in our chat, I didn't want to take the lead that way. It just happened so fast. We were coming off of turn 2. Chad got a bit loose, and I kind of clipped him and sent him around. So I immediately apologized to him because, I mean, it's not how I want to race, but I'm just glad I could at least get one win this season.
Yeah, you finally got that underneath your belt there with the checkered flag, and yeah, me and Dustin were talking over. I know there's no ill intent in that. It's just he got a little loose, and you literally have less than a second to react to it, and just made the slight contact, and off she sent to the infield wall. But either way, dude, don't discredit yourself at all. That was still a great performance. The 99. And your whole team did a fantastic job here. Going into the playoffs here shortly, you got 2 more weeks of racing before we're there. What do you think your chances are for this season's closure?
I think I'm sitting 17th in points, and I think the top 14 make it to the playoffs. Next week we're at the Glen, and I'm a pretty big road course guy, so I'm hoping I can, contend for a win there. Try to better my chances of making the playoffs, and I don't actually know where we're finishing the regular season, so
Milwaukee.
I'm not good there.
Well, I mean, at least you got a couple weeks to think about it. Points wise, though, I'm kind of just briefing it over on my screen. You're only out 50 points. You got the win tonight, so that's going to bump you up. If you do really well at the road course, I think you have a decent chance. I
It's gonna
really
be
do.
close.
I'm gonna be pulling for you, man. So good luck out there for the next couple. Oh, someone we got moved back. There we go. Apologize if that was me, but yeah, you got a couple more weeks, and I think you got a solid chance, man. So good luck the rest of the way. But floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
I just want to shout out my my team at Team Whatchamacallit. They took me pretty late in the season, so I'm just thankful to Clayton for letting me join, and just a big shout out to Premier Racing Setups. Their setup was on fire, and they have been on fire ever since I joined their team. So just a huge shout out to them, and thanks to you guys for putting on a good broadcast.
Well, appreciate those words, man. Go ahead and celebrate. Well earned. And we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That was Austin McGill. First time winner here in 2024, Dustin. Great race overall tonight. I know he had 10 cautions, but outside of that, got a little stagnant, of course, midway. But the restarts were excellent. The runs between first and second place. Got a couple 3-wides in the back, a little bit of everything. Trucks off the ground. Couple self spins, couple multi-truck wrecks. There's everything here tonight.
It was. I think the only thing that we didn't see was a truck go over.
That's right.
Got close, but yeah, no, it was good racing. Like I said, we talked about it. I expect to have some cautions at short tracks. That is short tracks. They have it in the real life. The real guys have them too. That is short tracks. It was good, solid racing. You heard it from Austin McGill. He didn't want to take the lead that way. It's just everything happened so fast in front of him. He had no time to react and just clipped him a little bit, and that was just enough. It instantly apologized, and that's why when I seen McGinley sit here and bump him in the back, that was a congratulatory bump. There wasn't anything there, and McGinley's definitely a driver. He knows what his truck is doing. I mean, bar none, he knows what it's doing, so he knows if he gets loose. But I mean, good racing overall, great saves. I mean, it was Richmond. That's why I love this track. I mean, we had the long runs, we had the short runs, we had the action, we had the 3-wide, we had the damn near 4-wide. What more can you want, Jeremy, from a 3/4 mile short track?
No, I mean, I don't want to see the flip over, so I think we got a little bit of everything, and I'm happy for it. But road course next week, that should be fun and interesting. I know those for us can be challenging at times, but I don't see that being an issue at Watkins Glen. So I know it's your favorite road course out of any ever, so you got to be just a little excited for that, I would imagine. But needless to say, we're going to have Scott Martin thank the rest of our sponsors, take it from here. You guys have a good rest of your night. We'll catch you Tuesday for the RSR Next Generation Cup Series, 9 p.m. Eastern if you want to tune into that. Get your nerd on. Have a good rest of your night.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com.
when nothing truly